Okay, we get c6 played here by Ding. Of course, I forgot to start my recording. c6, queen c2. Okay, now this is all pretty standard. Now, the move here that black should play is g6. And those of you guys who were around in 2020, you probably should remember the system. This, of course, is g6. Was played by none other than a certain Hikaru Nakamura, a grandmaster and streamer from the United States of America, when he played against Magnus Carlsen in a couple of the online tours. So, let's see if we get g6 here. This is what Hikaru played against Magnus in some of those El Clasicos back in 2020. So let's see if we get g6 here. G6 or bishop e7. So let's see. Everything they play has already been played by Hikaru Nakamura. Yeah. No move yet. G6 is a move. Why is Ding thinking here? I mean, because here it's just a matter of trying to remember which line he looked at and what he intends to play. G6 is the best move here. Let's see if it's played. How much coffee? I haven't slammed any coffee. Not yet. I'm having kombucha right now. I'll some coffee later. So let's see. Good morning. Don't forget to take care of yourself. I don't have any food yet. It's too early. It's crazy you're streaming this when you're higher rated than both of them. Well, that's the nature of how ratings go. It's all good. Okay, not too crazy that Ding is thinking. But actually, let me open ChessBase and take a look. Just make sure I'm not losing my mind. I'm pretty sure I had this against Magnus in 2020. Maybe in the first tournament itself. 1 second. It was d4, d5, c4, e6. Knight f3. Knight f6. Takes. Knight c3. c6, queen c2. Yes, I believe this was this not? Am I losing my mind? Wait, maybe I'm losing my mind. Let me see. Wait, maybe I'm losing my mind. Did I not actually play this against Magnus in 2020, or was it out of a different move order? Maybe I'm losing my mind. It's on the online database. I could have sworn that I had this against Magnus, but let me 1 second. Maybe I'm losing my mind, or maybe it's out of different move order. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I'm losing my mind. I'm pretty sure I had this against Magnus in 2020, but yeah, I thought it was a rest day. No, the players are playing 3 games. The microphone is not peaking, you guys. My mods would tell me if the microphone is too loud, but it's not peaking. So as far as I know, I don't think it is. Yeah, g6 is played. Okay, pretty standard. It's yeah, I looked in the online yeah, you open ChessBase very fast. Interesting. Okay, g6 h3. Okay. I mean, I'm almost certain I had this against Magnus. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I really am curious now. I could have sworn that I had this position, but maybe not. One second, you guys. Obviously, I'm just getting into it. I'm taking a look at chess base, trying to see like, I could have sworn that I had this. I don't know why I don't remember this. Position, copy board. I must be losing my mind this morning. All right. Anyway, okay, we have h3 played here. I believe that bishop f5 is still the correct move. It's been a while since I looked at this specific line, but pretty sure this is the move. Bishop f5, queen b3, queen b6, I think. Yeah, this is correct. And then g4 or something. This is gonna get sharp. I'm also trying to take a look to see if I can find my games against Magnus in this online event. I'm also taking a look at that too. But anyway, all right. Let's see what Ding plays here in this position. I really could have sworn I had this against Magnus. Now I'm really confused. Yeah, I'm really confused because I could have sworn that I had this against him somewhere in 2020. But whatever. I'm not going to waste half an hour looking at this, trying to figure out what I've done or haven't done. But anyway. All right, we got bishop f5 being played. Gukesh will play queen b3 or maybe queen d2 here. It's Magnus versus me, game 13 of the Speed Chess Championship. I could have sworn I had this against him in one of the really early events when the pandemic started. I would say Ding is better here. This is all preparation. You're looking with a weak engine. I could load a super engine, but yeah, Kramnik Nepo, h3 and queen b3. Yes, okay. h3 is not the main move here, by the way. h3 is definitely something that is not the main line. That's for sure. Load the super engine chain. I could. Okay, fine. You guys want me to? Okay, let me do that. Control N. There we go. E5, c4, e6, knight f3, knight f6, takes, knight c3, c6, queen c2, g6. Chibitzer. There we go. Yeah, black's not actually better here once you load a supercomputer. I'm sure of it. There's g6, h3, bishop f5, queen b3. Yeah, so yep, it is dead zeros equal, by the way, for anybody who's wondering. It is 0.08 here. Queen c7 is apparently the top line. Queen b6 is also completely fine, whereas on the chess.com engine it says after queen b6 black is better, but black is not actually better. This is a very critical game for everybody who's watching. A very critical game, first serious inflection point. If Ding, I would say this, Gukesh must get some kind of advantage in this game. If he does not get any advantage or pull in this game, then it bodes very poorly, I would say, overall for him, with a chance, because that would be 2 whites down. Ding will survive the first 3 games, not only with the lead, but having had 2 blacks and 1 white in the 3 games. So even if Gukesh doesn't win this game, he must put some pressure on him. Why don't you have AI tools who knows every one of your official games? Is there an AI tool that I'm unaware of? I mean, all top chess players use ChessBase, so I don't know. Maybe there's a tool. I don't know. Maybe there's a tool that I'm missing. What's the ramen? I actually, after everyone started asking me about it, I was thinking to myself, why not? I don't know. I'm sure I had that position after queen c2 g6. I'm sure of it, but maybe I'll check online. Well, let me check my online games versus Magnus. I didn't think ChatGPT worked that way, but maybe it does. Yeah, there we go. I'll just do a search for my games. Wait, what? Now what? We got queen b6, h4. I believe this is all still pretty well known. huh? I don't know why chess base isn't working either. Lovely. Okay, let's see. Okay, black. So now here's how I do it. 1 second. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little bit out of it. Yeah, it's black. Year 2020. Okay, here we go. Well, let me try to search it this way. Let's see if I can find it. Carlson. Way too many games against Magnus to count. Go back to 2020. 1 second, you guys. Oh, does ChessBase not keep the online games or something? Maybe it doesn't. Sorry, you guys. 1 second. Let me not look at the year. Okay. I was trying to find the game, but I can't seem to find it, which is really annoying me right now because I don't usually forget games or get confused. Actually, that's why the online database doesn't have games from 2020. That's why. Okay, I could have sworn I had this position after G6 in 2020. I had this game against Magnus in 2022, but it was a different line. I'm just asking if I had the position after G6. Yeah, I'm just asking if I had this position after G6. That's all I'm asking. I know H3 wasn't played. Oh, I had it with Bishop F4, Bishop E7 included. Ah, okay, that's why. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're waiting for a move here for Ding. There are a couple of moves. There's Queen B3, Bishop E6, or Bishop E4. All three moves are reasonable. I think this is on first glance you think you're winning the pawn on B3 because there's no Rook A3 or B4 here, but I think this is something dangerous after Bishop F4. I think there's something happening here where if you take, oh, there's Knight D2 right away and Rook C1, and you actually resign the game immediately. They're still in prep. Absolutely. Anish is also figuring out where he played this line too. Yeah, I mean the problem is once you're a top player, I mean you play every line, so it's like you start looking at this and you're like you're confused because you know you've played something somewhere, but you just don't know where, and you've been playing chess for 20 years. So like, yeah, but Anish is having the exact same problem. That's not surprising because like he probably is the same as me. Like he knows he's had the position, he just doesn't know exactly where. So not surprising at all. Here if you go 94, I think there's something wrong. Oh no, there's nothing wrong with this too. This is also completely fine. Yeah. But yeah, I think Chad is right. I think I've had it with Bishop F4, Bishop E7 included. Gukesh trying to go for the attack. Yeah, I like his opening choice. I think it's great that he's played D4 on move 1, playing something different. Already a lot of variety with D4 and E4 here. So I like what he's doing. So it makes a lot of sense here in my opinion to play like this. Makes a lot of sense. So all right, do I think both sides of winning chances way too early? I think it's just a standard position here at the start. Yeah. Actually, this is a good problem. It gave me the idea of creating AI tools which find similar problem patterns in games. Yeah. So, in the century, has anyone played the King's Gambit World Championship match? I do not believe so. No. If I were Ding here, I'd probably go Bishop E4 is what I would play, because without knowing what if you don't know this, it's very hard to play Bishop C2 because you know Gukesh in prep and you know it's probably not right. So it's very hard to play this line with Knight E4, which probably is okay, but very hard. Ding's at plus 125. So Ding is still the underdog according to the odds. That is a mistake. Actually, that is a mistake. The people who are making the odds, they frankly are not chess players and they don't know what they're doing. Is what I would say. Now obviously I can change on a dime oh sorry, so it was with bishop f4 bishop e7 that I did have this. So it was the early one though, right? It was, but I was right that it was the early one in 2020, right? Let me see if, let me see. So it was d4, so it was d4 d5 c4. Okay, there we go. So it was c6 bishop f4 bishop e7, and then it was queen c2 g6. Is that what it was? Let me see. Carlson Awkward, yeah, and it was in the Lindorus Abbey, so I was right. Actually, I was right. It was very early. It was very early in the tour as well. The old days, you guys. The old days. The old days. Wow. The old days. Yeah, so I was right. I was right. I was right, kind of. I was wrong in the exact position, but I was right that it was similar. I was also right that at the timing of when it happened. But all right, Ding is not thinking too long here. This is actually, in this one, Ding should be thinking. This is not an obvious situation at all. Are they trying to draw it? No, we've got a long way to go. This one I'm not critical of Ding whatsoever, because this is a little bit out there. Like knight c3 and queen c2 already a little bit off the beaten path, but then to play a3, queen b3 and g4, this is not something I would expect Ding to have looked at like very recently. So it makes sense that he's thinking here. I'm not going to be critical of this one because this is something that's not super straightforward, and probably not something that you should be expecting, frankly. So this one, I have none of the qualms or issues I have with his time usage in the previous game exist here, because he should be thinking. There's a clip on Twitter, I won't say trending, but in it Mag is saying Gukesh played the worst, that he can't play worse than that. Everyone's serious out there. I mean, I think basically Magnus expects better from Gukesh, and he was really shocked. Yeah, those of you guys who are wondering why I was like starting to get a little bit misty, it's because that was very nostalgic. It reminded me of the good old days in 2020, like right when everything was taking off. Just a little bit before Pog Champs happened. I mean, just the glory days. Just the glory days. Okay, so waiting for a move from Ding. He's probably gonna think for a bit here. I don't think we'll get a quick move, so I'm gonna go make my ramen, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes, you guys. I'll go make my ramen quickly, and we'll keep going. It's only 4 years ago, you guys, but the thing is, I've literally streamed and done stuff every single day, so like the last 4 years have felt like a lifetime. Commentating from the side is something new. Yeah, we'll do our usual, you guys. I'm gonna make my ramen. We're obviously going to we'll do our reading like we always do, because that's part of our early morning streams. 50 million man eats ramen. Why not eat ramen, you guys? I gotta save my money. FY, you can use a microwave. I'm using a microwave to make it, but I'm boiling the water first. That's what I'm doing. So this game will be decisive most likely. Gukesh is going to press as hard as he can this game. Like I said, Gukesh doesn't have to win this game, but if he doesn't even get an advantage, he doesn't have any kind of advantage in this game. That's very, very bad overall. Even if he gets an advantage in his draw, that's fine, as long as he gets an advantage in this game. Aren't you bored of ramen? I don't have anything else. I could make some tendies or something, but like, yeah, millionaire eats ramen. What's wrong with ramen, you guys? What's wrong with ramen? We Italians consider ramen bad food. I mean, Italians are so busy eating pasta and pizza all the time. I don't think they should be talking. It's from it's a Tokyo style ramen from Costco. Where's my wife? She's playing a tournament in the Dominican Republic right now. Okay, so let's see what's played. What's the idea of getting an advantage even if he draws? Because psychologically it's going to give him a confidence boost, whereas if he doesn't get anything, you're already feeling a little bit in trouble in the match. You're down a game, and you have lost with white. You won't have gotten anything with your big surprises. So so let's see. You say pasta like a New Yorker. Okay, thank you. So what else is there? We taught the world how to eat. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So okay, waiting for the move from Ding. Also, yeah, so back to the questions about someone was saying, like, when I say it's the good old days, I'll tell you, basically what I would say to you is, I don't know if everybody has this perspective, but a lot of people I've spoken to have the same perspective, where when they look at their lives, people who are around my age, a little bit younger, maybe not a little bit younger, people my age who are a little bit older, COVID really, like, it messed with the time, what's the word, like the time, the sense of time, I guess you could say. So for me, it's like one of those things where I would say everything that was before the pandemic, somehow it's like, yeah, with the timeline, it's like somehow everything before the pandemic, even though it's only like 2019, even though it's only I mean, now it's been 5 years, it feels to me like 2019 was like a different lifetime ago. It really feels to me like 2019 was like 15 years ago, frankly, when I compare it to other times that were actually 15 years ago, prior to the pandemic. So like the whole perception of time got kind of screwed up a lot during that. Big shout out to Amber Lenori. Hello Hikaru and Chess World, how you doing? Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, I have an air fryer, of course, but yeah, so the timeline's messed up. So it's like everything that was like I'll give you an example. In 2019, when I was thinking back to, let's just say 2008 or things around that time, it's like, okay, it's a while back, but it's only 10 years, it's not that long ago. Whereas now everything feels like it's a million years ago. Microwave instant cup noodle induces cancer. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay. But so then, like, to fast forward, so like 2020, there are two things. First of all, people have to realize in the last four years, I've been streaming so much. I've been busy more in the last 4 years. I've been more active than I was in probably the previous 15 to 20 years, if I'm just being honest. Like, streaming every day, really jam-packing every day with something, makes time feel a lot different as well. So that's what I would say. So when people ask, it's like 2020, like, it really does feel like a different lifetime ago. So that's what I would say. It to me, 2019, like, I mean, it just feels like a different lifetime ago. And even 2020, when everything was booming, even now, that does not feel recent, even though it was. I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, I get regular job. I'm just saying, for me personally, as a professional chess player, professional chess players are bums. So like, all you do is study chess all day. You're not super productive, and it's a big thing. Now, this is a bad situation. Jokes aside, it's a very serious situation here for Ding. He is obviously out of preparation. This position does warrant a long think. I have no criticism whatsoever, because there's no way that he could have been really prepared for this line. This is not something he should be super prepared for. Also, my life changed immensely. It changed immensely. If I compare my life now versus 2019, it's a very different world that I live in. Okay, now the water should be boiled, so I'm just going to go heat up the noodles, and I'll be right back. Oh, wow. Okay, we got it, you guys. We got this. We got this. This is very aggressive. Now, if Gukesh here uses his time, I'm going to be very upset, by the way, because Gukesh should still be in prep here as well. Has Hikaru become less egotistical since 2019? I really hope he has, marriage and all. Like, why are you asking that question exactly? I mean, yeah, we got bishop f4 played quickly. Okay, this is very dangerous here, by the way. Very dangerous for Ding to play this, because Ding better know the line. This is a this is a spot where if Ding doesn't know the line, he is going to get into trouble very, very quickly here. He's going to get into a lot of trouble here if he doesn't play knight e4 here, I think. This is a very, very dangerous situation for Ding. Very dangerous. Make no mistake about this, is very dangerous. If you take, I think you lose the game here, right? Knight e2, you're already in lots of trouble. If you go here, takes, and e3, look at the two Bs. And if you go bishop c2, I think you're just losing after rook c1, because there's just f3, and you're losing the bishop. It's getting trapped. This is very dangerous. If Ding does not know this line, Ding is in a lot of trouble already. A lot of trouble. So we're at a very critical moment. If Ding does not move relatively quickly here, I'm going to go out on a limb already and make a bold prediction that Gukesh wins the game. If Ding does not play a move within like 3 to 4 minutes here, I'm going to make a bold prediction. If he doesn't move quickly here, showing that he knows exactly what to do, I'll make a bold prediction that I think Gukesh is going to win this game. I don't think it's a hot take. Oh, wow. Okay, so he does. So he plays h5. I'm back. Yeah, sorry, I was just making my food. He does play h5. Okay, so part one of my prediction is true. So Ding does know what he's doing. Because h5 is not a move that you play. It's not a move that you just play. Picture of the ramen. I'm literally mixing the noodles right now. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. This is Krano versus Arjun. Okay. I mean, I don't know this line. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just your casual streamer, so I don't actually know that game. Instead of a ramen cam, there's probably a way I could do it with my phone or something, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, probably a way with my phone. Anyway, yeah. Let's see what Ding does here, because you said this is the game, so this must Ding has to know the next couple of moves too. I'm joining later. I don't know if I'm joining Hammer. I'm joining Hammer Mag to some combo. I'm not sure. Okay. So we get takes. We'll get takes in 2 seconds. Already dangerous here. Knight BD7 apparently the only move to not be worse. Now this is a chess.com engine, so maybe I'll open chess base again to take a look. Okay, let me board control N. Okay, torch or stockfish, which one? I guess I'll use torch right now. Okay, so all right. Takes knight c3, c6, queen c2, g6, h3. Okay, queen b6, g4, takes, bishop c2, bishop f4, h5, rook g1, takes. Yeah, knight b7 is still equal, but it is already the only move, by the way. So at this point, if you don't play knight b7, you're already much worse. It's already 0.5 or better. Bishop b3 was played in the Arjun game, and that is apparently a mistake. Bishop b3 was played after knight e2, bishop c4. What happened? Yeah, bishop b3 was played in this Arjun game versus Kramnik, and it is a mistake. Knight b7 is the only move for black to not be much worse here already. Very tense moment, by the way. Now, Ding should actually know this. If you were to ask me, he should know this, is what I would say. He should know this. Yeah, he should know this. Arjun could be helping Gukesh, but I doubt it. But Ding has to know this here with knight bd7. He's got to know this. It's not an obvious move though, which is why everything is fraught with risk here after he played bishop c2, because one wrong move, one slip, and Ding is probably going to lose this game. Like one slip. It's not going to take much. One slip is all it takes here. Knight e4, knight takes e4, d takes e4 is still good for white apparently. Arjun was black in that game, yes. Oh, did I just spill some broth? I don't know, maybe I did. Anyway, enjoy the ramen. I will try to. Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy the ramen. Yeah. Knight b7, knight d2, and rook g8 is apparently equal. Rook g8 is frankly a very hard move to play. I do have protein. I do have chicken in it. There's chicken in it. Yeah, there's chicken. But thank you for asking. Thank you for asking, as always. Yeah. But rook g8 is very hard to play. If Ding does, I mean, it's a big question. Does Ding know this? If Ding knows this, he's still fine. If he doesn't know this, he's in real trouble. I think he's in real trouble. Just looking at the body language, I don't think he knows the best line. I bet he's going to take on b3 here, which is a bad move. The error for margin is very low here for Ding. He is gonna have to be very precise here, which is why I didn't like bishop c2, because I felt that here if he played like bishop e6 even, I mean, after bishop f4 there are a lot of options. You can play h5, you can go knight bd7, maybe you'll be worse in certain lines, but you're not in a situation where you have to find only moves to not be really worse. So this is really dangerous, really dangerous. For Gukesh, very thin, no, but Gukesh does not have many options here. Like after takes, he's gonna know that he's supposed to go knight d2. Like I'm sure he's looked at this already, and white's just better with the two bishops. So it's a very thin, there's a very thin margin here. And also rook c1 is a threat, knight d2 is an obvious move, and that's all that white is playing for here. Knight e4 maybe is possibly okay, but very thin. Very thin. It looks like Ding's getting ready to make a move though. Let's see what he does here. Let's see what he does. Very thin margin. This is probably already I mean, there've been the first critical moment was back here. I mean, this was the first big critical moment, but he played h5 quickly, so it wasn't really that critical since he played it fast. But this is very critical too. h5 was important, but he knew this was the correct move. Now it's a very tense moment. This is very critical. Yeah, as the engine thinks longer, it's thinking bishop e7 is actually not that bad here. It's saying bishop e7, rook c1 takes, here takes e3 and rook h4, and black isn't doing that badly. Is this realistic? I don't know. I mean, this is very dangerous position. I don't like Ding's choice here at all, because he has to know it, and if he doesn't know it, he's just worse. My head's going down because I'm eating my ramen. That's why. Yeah, this is a very, I mean, he went for it because he knew bishop c2 and he knew h5, but he might not know anymore. But the problem is he's already down 35 minutes on the clock here. This is very dangerous. Very dangerous position here. This is the critical moment of the game, I would say. And yeah, Gukesh obviously is familiar with the Kramnik game, no doubt about that. Did people already forget game one? I'm just gonna say this not to be rude, but this position is much different than the position in game one. This is a very dangerous situation. This position is very fraught with risk here for Ding. So this is not the same situation as game one. If he does not, in game one he could have played many different moves and he was fine. Here he does not have many moves where he's fine at all. He literally has one or two moves that are okay. Yeah, this is very dangerous. Game 6 is Sunday. Will you take the day off? Probably, but I don't know. Probably. Yeah. There's an aggressive opening, but not that crazy. Big moment here. Big moment. I like noodles. Yeah. I mean, noodles are great. Of course I like noodles. I'm Japanese. That's a weird question. I think Gukesh continue to move all over the place with openings. D4, E4, everything. Maybe C4 too. So I think it's a very dangerous position here. Very dangerous. No, I mean, the problem with this one versus game one is that this is something where he has to or he has to thread the tightrope. Basically, he has to walk the line here and not make a mistake. If he makes even one wrong move, he's going to be much worse very immediately, and he's going to be down a lot of time on the clock. Unlike game one, this is very dangerous. There's no margin here basically for safety versus game one. What is Polymarket saying? I haven't opened Polymarket. I don't need a super engine anymore. I know what the best moves are. Okay, so let's close chess base. You guys are asking about Polymarket, right? Okay. It's probably bumping up for, let's see, Polymarket. What? Okay, see, this is an example also. Like, this is so stupid. People don't know what they're doing. Like, yes, it's a very critical moment, but it should not have dipped this much. It should not have dipped. It should not have dipped from 49 to 41. It should not have dipped this much. The position is still very much within the margin. They're listening to you. It's a very dangerous moment, but the game is not over. So yeah, I saw what it is. Yeah, do I eat natto? Of course I do. Ohashi, of course I could use chopsticks, but I don't have chopsticks here. I might have some cheap ones, but yeah. Stop slurping. You're supposed to slurp. Yeah, you're supposed to slurp. Are there derivative contracts I can buy on Gukesh? You can buy on either player, but yeah, you can buy on either player. Bishop b3 is a bad move here, yeah. But I'm gonna be honest, the problem with this situation, if you don't know what the best move is, this is a position where you can't rely on intuition. So that's why top level chess is very tricky, because in top level chess there are many situations like this where it's more about finding the position where the best move, or the only move in some cases, is not the most obvious intuitive move. You have to think and figure it out, and trying to understand that is very difficult between intuition and moves that are natural. So like in a blitz game here, if I were playing, honestly I would probably just take and I would go here, and I think, okay, I'm a little bit worse with two bishops. In a classical game, this is much worse than just a little bit worse. This is very bad. So it's very, very tricky here. Very tricky. Very tricky. The best move here is not intuitive. It's not the first thought. It's not the intuitive move. And the fact that Ding is thinking here, also very bad. Because if Ding knew h5 was the move, if Ding knew that h5 was the correct move here, he should know more than that. So he might be trying to remember it, but I'm not sure. We'll see what he does here. Like, for example, knight b7, knight d2, rook g8 is not human at all. This is just insane stuff. To go rook g8 and g5, if you don't know this, you will never play rook g8. You will never play rook g8, ever. You'll never play rook g8. It's not a human move. You think it's calculating knight bd7? Definitely the most likely. Arjun played bishop b3 and survived. Yeah, because the game against Kramnik was not a classical game of chess, so you can't be super precise in a fast game. Next move is very important, though. Very important moment. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very very tricky moment. This is already a critical moment of the game, I would say. This is a critical moment of the game. Next 2 or 3 moves, we're either going to see Ding find the line or remember or whatever, or he's going to be much worse and suffering and very likely to lose the game, in my opinion. Very tricky moment. A very, very tricky moment. Very, very tricky moment. Knight b7 and knight e4 is not hard to play. No, the problem is knight b7, knight d2. This is the problem, and rook g8 is the only move to not be significantly worse. And this is frankly not possible in my opinion, whether it's a blitz game or a classical game, unless you know the concept already. If you don't know the concept, you'll never play rook g8 here. It's just way too dank. It's way too dank. Still thinking, no move here. No, this is a very tense moment. You joined at just the right time. This is move 13. Ding is way down on clock, which wouldn't be a big issue, except for the fact that he's in a situation where he's to find only the best. There are only moves already. To not be much worse. Okay, it looks like he's about to move, and I think he's gonna play the wrong move. Now for Gukesh, this is a dream opening because there's no risk of losing. Like, there's no way Gukesh can lose. Five AM ramen kicking in. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I would say for Ding, this is a very, very dangerous spot. I didn't say that Ding was going to lose the game though. Whereas here, he is going to lose the game if he doesn't play the best move, the next 2 to 3 moves. If he plays even inaccuracy, he's going to end up in a lot of trouble, and I do predict he's going to lose the game. In game 1, he wasn't in a situation where the position itself was hanging by a thread. No, the position here is hanging by a thread for Ding. One wrong move and he's going to lose the game. I mean, there's no margin for error. That's the problem with this position for Ding. That's the problem. Invite Gotham Chess to the stream. Levy's asleep. Levy is asleep. Why am I surprised by the market maker saying one wrong move and he's done? I mean, because I don't think that it's I know maybe you're right. Maybe you're right that based off that one wrong move I think he's going to lose. It is correct. Maybe it is correct. I don't know. But I'm not. I actually, for surprising you guys, I don't really watch that stuff. And it's more because like I find a lot of what like Mag is saying to be not too different from what I think, and so it's not super fascinating to me because like obviously I'm a top player too, so much of what Magnus has said doesn't really surprise me, so I'm not gonna be like, wow, this is amazing insight, because it's pretty standard for me to hear. Thank you Anonymous for the 2 gifted subs. Thanks so much to Anonymous, appreciate it. Thank you for the 2 gifted, appreciate it. Thank you. Magnus said when he was younger he used to defeat you a lot in classical chess, and he used to annoy me. Yeah, I mean it's like at this point I'm not a pro player anymore, so I can tell you there are a couple important things, but I would say the single biggest distinction is that I made this big mistake of playing Magnus in a blitz match after the Town Memorial, I believe in 2010. It might have been 2009, but I think it was 2010. And basically what happened is I kind of realized how good Magnus, I didn't realize how good he was, I guess you could say, in a way. And I suddenly, basically my opinion of how good he was went up a lot when that happened. And then in the meantime, I think he thought I was better. He thought I was better than he realized from playing. I'm gonna sneeze, give me a second. Maybe not. I thought I was about to sneeze, but point is, so like I feel like I thought he was worse. Basically I came away from that feeling he was better than I thought he was, and I think he came away thinking that I was worse than he thought I was going into that match. And the second part of it is that what I think he also learned in that match is that my openings were not as sound as they looked. There were a lot of weaknesses in the way that I played. So I think that's what I would say, is that he learned a lot, not only about styles, but he also learned a lot about my openings. And I think he realized that my openings were not as good as he thought they were either. So would I have a better record? I'm sure I'd have a better record, but I still don't think I would have a good record. Do I regret it? I mean, it's funny because if you were to ask me before the pandemic, I would say that yes, that's a huge mistake for my professional career. I think it was a big mistake, but I would say at the end of the day, I won the lottery. I've done great as a content creator, and I am a very firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So you know, maybe if that doesn't happen, I end up slaving away playing chess my whole life and I never become a streamer. You never know. Who knows? If I don't do that, maybe I end up becoming a professional chess player and I end up living a much less fulfilling life. So yeah, you never know. It's all relative. Judah Polar is worried about Ding's position. I mean, this is a very dangerous spot. It's very dangerous because there's only like 1 or 2 paths here, and Ding is way down on the clock, which again, not the end of the world, except for the fact that it's a position where it's an end game. Ding has no chances to win this, so no chance to win. It's going to be a draw or a Gukesh win, and he has to walk the line. So yeah, I would say that if you asked me in 2019, I would say yes, biggest mistake, easily the biggest mistake was playing that match. Without a doubt, biggest mistake. But now I would say like everything has worked out much better for me, not being a pro chess player. So I'm pretty happy actually. Yeah, this is insane, the time usage here. Keep your cards hidden, you guys. That's actually the best part about not being a professional chess player anymore, is that I can just be honest. I can be completely honest. I don't have to like hedge and say something that's like, you know, a half truth anymore. I can just say the truth. It doesn't matter. Yeah, bro isn't even a pro anymore and still almost on the candidates. Yeah, because the irony is, for me specifically, this isn't true for everybody. As soon as I stopped worrying about things and I just started playing chess for the love of the game versus like worrying about like having to make a living, it all became super easy for me in a way. It's like I started enjoying the game and playing it for the right reasons. That's why you'll hear me sing the praises of Arjun so frequently these days, because when I see Arjun plays chess the way that I play chess. Now I would say now specifically, or the way I played chess before I became a top 10 player, like he plays very free, like someone who's just enjoying it, trying to play and have a good game. And so like I really do admire Arjun for that, because he's the only top player who I see who's doing that at the moment. So basically, once I was able to stop worrying about the financial constraints and just play the game for the love of the game and enjoyment, I loved it. Matt, just talking about classical chess, not the hotel match. No, but the point is, I'm saying that hotel match is what really led to me. I wasn't beating Magnus, but I was getting good positions every game against him prior to that match. Yeah, but once you stop stressing and you just start enjoying life and playing chess for the love of the game instead of having to make a living from it, it becomes a lot easier. So all right, what happened to Ding so low on time? I mean, he's gotten himself into a very, very dangerous position. I'm still mad you didn't beat him in Norway. Who? Magnus? No, but beating Magnus wasn't the game. In Norway chess, the game I had to win was the game against Ali Reza. That's what messed up the tournament. Do you think any other top 10 player could do good as a streamer who's not streaming? Honestly, no, I don't think so. And the reason I would say no is because it's funny to say this, but I think that being a very good streamer, it really requires a couple of things that, you know, I've sort of learned over time that I would say a lot of top players don't possess. Fabiano couldn't do it, and I'll tell you why he couldn't do it. Because Fabiano, I mean, this is nothing against Fabiano. I love the guy, don't get me wrong, but he's very dry. He doesn't really have a personality. Yes, he speaks reasonably well, but he's very, very dry. He doesn't have a personality. Ali Reza, I will say Ali Reza was the one player who tried. I think Ali Reza actually, I'll give you guys the hot take of the day. If Ali Reza had not stopped streaming when he qualified for the candidates in 2022, he could have had a decent audience. He could have had a real audience, but as soon as he qualified for the candidates, he basically stopped playing chess, stopped streaming, stopped doing anything for about 8 to 9 months, which not only messed up the candidates for him, but also definitely I would say like it killed any chance of streaming. But Ali Reza was the one player who was streaming who had potential. He had potential to do something more with it. He is the one player who did it. He seemed to enjoy it. He had quite a bit of, it seemed like he was enjoying it. He had quite a bit of a fan base. He's the one player who actually did who I think had potential. He had potential. Yeah, he had real potential to be a good streamer with a solid audience. So yeah. So all right, anyway, back to the game. Waiting for a move here from Ding. He is down an hour on the clock here, by the way, with no increment. This is already a very critical. The next 2 to 3 moves are going to decide this game. Next 2 to 3 moves. So, but I think the main thing with streaming also is that the thing with chess is, I will say this because again, I'm not a pro player and it doesn't matter. It's not really a hot take per se, but everyone in chess outside of Magus, because he's just freaking god. Obviously times have changed for the Indian players with sponsorship, but if you go back even like 5, 6, 7 years ago, everyone is basically a dog, and it's like a bunch of dogs fighting for the scraps. So if the dogs are fighting for the scraps, and when you're fighting for the scraps, like you're trying to squeeze every last little bit of money that you can. And so to stream just for the sake of just for the sake of the love of it, trying to build an audience, that's not how chess works economically. Because like, for example, the way chess players make money is you show up and you get paid. You show up and you get paid as an elite player. So just trying to build something with no guaranteed return, financial return, is something that I think is very difficult, very, very difficult to do for the top chess players. Poly market is way down. It's 39 cents, you guys. Okay, so let's think about this logically. There are probably some math wizards in chat, people who are not a former world champion who doesn't know anything about stats. So if there's anybody who's a statistician, tell me this. Basically, if I assume that if I assume that if Ding, or not Ding, sorry, if Gukesh wins this game, he's back to a 75-25 favorite here. But if it's a draw, I would put Ding as a 55 favorite. Should it be at 38%? Should it be at 38? You guys tell me. No, tell me, should it be or not? By the way, if there's a market for game 3, I would be betting on this. I would be betting hard if there's a market. Let me see. Poly market, game 3 world championship. Is there a contract? He's 65. How do I don't want to see the market summary. I don't want to see the market summary. How do I see it? Oh, there's just game 3. It's on the right hand side, but it's saying 65-37. I can't see a graph, but if I could see a graph here, I would have been betting hard on. I would have bet hard on Gukesh. It's 75 now. I would have bet hard on Gukesh as soon as Ding did not play. As soon as after H5 rook G1. As soon as Ding thought for more than 5 minutes, I would have bet hard on Gukesh in this position. It's obvious that Ding knew H5, but he doesn't know now. So yeah, I would have been betting hard. But you guys tell me, so if I think this is a 2-result game, Gukesh wins or draws, 0 chance that Ding wins this game. How does the math work? Assuming that you have to walk a thin line, and if you walk it, you draw the game, or if you don't, you lose. It's very close to 50-50 whether we're in a situation where it's 75-25 or 55-45. You guys would tell me. You guys tell me if those odds are correct. Yeah, Ding has to start moving fast. I mean, Rook, I'm going to be honest. Rook G8 is a ridiculous move. I don't think any human is going to play this here. Rook G8 is just not going to happen. Magus is a great streamer, or Magus has a big audience. He has a big audience, but you guys have to realize that one other thing is that I would give you an example of is like, look at Drake, for example. I don't know how often he's on stream. Whenever Drake does one of these Gambit streams, he has a massive amount of people watching. But if Drake were streaming every day, his audience would be a lot smaller. His audience would be a lot smaller. That's the thing is, you know, when you look at the greats and fields, when they do some stream where it's like they stream like once every month or once every couple of months, yes, of course. Oh, nice, the flies are back. There's going to be a massive following, but if they were to start streaming every day, it's going to be much different. This is very bad. This is very bad here. Rook G8 and G5, I'm just telling you, as someone who's played chess my whole life, unless Ding somehow is able to recall the position after knight d7, knight d2 from a file, or he knows the specific Rook G8 idea, there is literally zero chance he plays it. Zero chance that he plays knight d7, knight d2, Rook G8. I think if I presume he doesn't know it, most likely for me as a human would be to play knight e4 here. Drake is gay. Okay. It's 2024. Nobody cares. What's your point? Yeah, I would say knight e4 here probably. I think if you don't know this, knight e4 is what you should play. Like what? I think knight e4 is the move that I would play here. If you don't know Rook G8, who cares? Like, you guys are trolling me, right? Who cares? I mean, knight e4, I mean, knight b7 is the best move, but as I said before, unless you know Rook G8, which is the only move here, you're losing the game. You're losing here if you don't play Rook G8. I think there's basically 0% chance. I'm going to be honest. I think there's basically 0% chance that he finds knight d7, knight d2, Rook G8. So if I presume that, then he's going to play knight e4. I mean, it's very dank. The reason this is fine for blacks is because after Rook G8, the idea is Rook C1, G5, and now the bishop retreats. You get squares. You have G6 and H7 to retreat. Chess 24 Zumi moves the rook. Yeah, well, good luck with that. Good luck. I think that's borderline impossible to find. Borderline impossible. And the other point is after Rook G8, if you go G5, there's knight H5, and now your bishop has a free square on F5. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's borderline impossible. Borderline impossible. Borderline impossible. Queen b3 and bishop c2 is pretty normal. It's not too crazy. He knew this up to h5, which actually, I'm gonna be honest, you know what this tells me? This tells me that Ding's preparation is a little bit thin. A little bit thin and light, because the fact that he knew h5 but he didn't know beyond that is not great. It's not great, actually. His prep feels a little bit thin. Because if you know h5, you really should have gone, you definitely should have gone deeper within the line after takes. That shouldn't be the end of your prep. I think he's gonna go knight e4 here. That's my prediction. This is Ding's weakness. His openings are not good, it would appear. I don't think Magus could find Rook G8 either, but Ding is not faking it. He genuinely doesn't know. Maybe knight a6 is a move. Oh no, it's not, because king d2. Wait, this one, however, I'm gonna be honest, this one, oh, but you'd be wait, did we get a move? Okay, the moment of truth. Okay, the moment of truth. Okay, Gukesh surely has this prep. He's surely gonna blitz out knight d2 here, right? He did it. Okay, no, this is not good, you guys. You're saying he did it. Let's go. You guys don't understand. This is not great. You guys, you're living in 2024. You're not using your brains like humans of yesterday. This is a very, very bad move, objectively. Very, very bad move. Because if Gukesh plays knight d2 here, Ding has one move to not lose the game, and it is not a human move at all. It's literally a 50-50 between you lose the game almost instantly or you're completely fine. It's a 50-50. By the way, coin flips happen a lot in chess. I'll give you a good example of a coin flip. I don't remember the exact game, so let me find it. But I'll give you a perfect example. Let me find a game. Let me pull up a game. So coin flips happen a lot. Which one is it? It's this one, right? Yeah, so I played against Sergei Karyakin in Zurich in 2015, and I played this English opening. I'm just going to show you guys this game. This was a 50-50. Did he find it? No, we don't have a move yet. So you get takes, and then it was e6, g3, queen b6. I believe I played knight b5. Yeah, it was knight b5, knight e5, bishop f4, knight g4. I played queen a4, sacking a pawn, and we got g5, takes, king d2, knight e5, knight c7, king d8, knight a8. I don't actually remember this exact line. Did he play? Did he move? He didn't move yet. No, there's no move. And it goes queen d4, king c2, knight c4 here, e4. Yeah, and I think so. This is the position. Okay, you guys. So this is a game I had against Sergei Karyakin in Zurich in 2015. Now this is a forced draw. This is literally a forced draw after check, king b3, takes, and bishop g7. Queen a5 here, then b6 takes and f6. This is a theoretical draw. Okay, this is a forced draw. He played it. Wait, what? No, there are no moves. No, there are no moves. Knight d2 wasn't played yet. So yeah, as I was saying, so this is the point, you guys. So this line is literally a forced draw after f6, queen b5. You sack a bishop and then you go f5. This is literally a forced draw. Okay. But my opponent, if you don't know this, let me find a position. If you don't know that in this position, if you don't know that it's a queen d2, queen b2, all these moves are not natural. Basically, first of all, you sack the horse and then you don't take the rook. You also go b6, then you sack the bishop and then go f5. This is borderline impossible to find over the board if you don't know the idea. So when I played this against Sergei Karyakin, I have the cams up, you guys, so I can tell you're trolling. But when I played Sergei Karyakin, if he doesn't know this over the board, and he didn't, he just loses the game. So like this is kind of the thing, you're looking at the engine, you're like, oh, it's zeros, Ding is great, he found it. He has to find rook g8, which is not easy at all. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm confused. Why is Gukesh thinking? I did win that game because it continued with knight e3, king b3, and I was basically up a tower here. I would go on to win that game, and that would actually be a very important game because it would be the first time that I ever broke 2800 in classical chess. So like this is an example of something where like you look, you're like, oh man, like if this were played right now, I'd be like, oh man, look at like Gukesh, what an idiot, he's playing something that's just a forced draw. But again, you're looking with the computer programs in this modern day and world. You got to remember, you guys, you have to learn how to actually use your brain and think, and not trust computers to solve everything for you, because when you actually play the game, it's not that straightforward. You don't get a computer to help you cheat. You have to find it and use your human brain when you're playing a game. That's the reality. So it's like when we get back to this position, by the way, there are two things I'm confused by. How is Gukesh out of prep here? Knight b7 is a top computer move. How is Gukesh out of prep here? I'm confused. I'm actually confused here. And this is where, you know what? This is where I would sell. I would sell Gukesh at 70 cents here. It was like 70 cents. As soon as he didn't move within 60 seconds, I would have sold Gukesh hard, assuming I have it right. Because if you sell Gukesh, can I sell him? Oh, I can't. Sorry, it's polymarket. I can't bet on it. I would sell him hard. I would sell Gukesh hard. I would not be buying him here because he has not moved yet. He's using time. He could be pretending here. He could be pretending for sure, but I doubt it. Because in this situation, psychologically, if you have your next move, you want to play it fast because you want to continue to bully your opponent. You want to bully them hard on the clock and not give them an inch to breathe or relax or get into the game. Knight e2 is very human. Rook g3. Wait, I'm sorry, rook g3 is like new age hippie chess. Rook g3 is a ridiculous move. Let's go back here. Oh, wait, Ding's rising. He's back at 44 cents now. He's back at 44 cents because Gukesh hasn't moved quickly. I'm actually really confused. Levy found rook g8. Good joke. Nobody would play rook. Nobody, I think, would find rook g8 in a game with these stakes. How does Gukesh not know this? How is he out of prep here? And the reason I'm shocked by this is because if he knew up to here, once again, he's got to know that knight d2 is the move. And also, one of the other reasons, you know, one other thing I would say, and this is something that's important, is that this should have been very near the top of things that he expected from Ding to play. This should have been very near the top of what he expected. Like, g6 should be probably at the top of the list. Okay, so we're not out of the woods in terms of tenseness. There's still a lot of tenseness here. I expect knight d2 though. Now the only way in which Gukesh could be bluffing here is Gukesh could be bluffing from the standpoint that he might actually know both moves here. He might know knight d2, he might know rook c1 as well. He might be trying to figure it out which move he wants to play. Ding's back at 44 cents because Gukesh hasn't moved yet. In reality, Hikaru pulled up Polymark to 4,400 chess players who want to earn some dough. Oh, that's why? Okay. Man, if I could actually day trade this, like, this would be so great. I mean, if I could day trade this, I would day trade the shit out of this. Pardon my French, but I would. I actually think I could clear 25 grand a day if I could day trade this. I think I could clear 25 a day. But I live here in America and I can't do it, so that's life. No, I think I would because I could play the dips. I could play the dips. I could play the dips. I could play the dips hard. I could. Is your analysis of the game financial advice? No, it's not. I think I could actually. I think I could because basically, like, because here's the thing. When we go here, this dip, this was 39 cents. And then it basically, as soon as there's not a move within 60 seconds, I would just immediately make a big bet on the side. It would rise to like 45 and then I would dump it because again, you're looking at another big swing. So again, here's the point. You're looking at a swing where if Gukesh plays knight d2, Ding is going to go down again. You're going to see it cliff. He's going to go down again to like 40 cents and then if he doesn't play rook g8, it's going to go way down. And if he does, it's going to go up. But if he plays knight d2, then immediately I'm gonna, as soon as we see the move, I'm gonna snap bet on the other side. I'm gonna bet on Gukesh because rook g8 is not a human move. So yeah, SEC incoming. I'm not trading it, and it's not financial advice. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. There's not a volume. What's the volume on this? Yeah, maybe not enough volume. You're probably right. Yeah. Other streamers talk chess. Hikaru teaches how to day trade the world championship on Polymarket. Yeah, but I'm here in America. I can't do anything, you guys. Yeah, 900k volume. Yeah. Wonder what your stance will be when there's a bear market on an all-time high. You know what I will say is that one thing that I've done a lot over the last few years, mostly it's been okay. I do quite a bit of covered calls. I sell covered calls on a decent chunk of my stuff, not everything, but on a decent chunk of stuff. So I'm not particularly worried. And again, I'll be honest, I want a downturn. I would love for the market to go down 20%. That would be great. That just means I can buy more shares cheaply. I would love for the market to go down 20%. Like, what are you talking about? I would love for the market to go down 20%. I can buy cheap shares. I mean, why would I be upset? I'd be happy. I would love that. I'd love it. I'm gonna be unhappy. I mean, come on. I'm gonna be unhappy. I would love it. I mean, one of my best buys ever was when I bought the stock main at the depths of the pandemic low, and I bought it. I think my final buy was at 20, but I think my average was like 25 bucks, and I think at that time the dividend was like 10% or something absolutely obscene, and now it's at like 55 bucks. Still got 7%, reinvest the dividends, and I'm coasting, absolutely coasting. No, I mean, when the market crashes, that's like literally the best opportunity. That's the best. Those are best. That's the absolute best thing that can ever happen. Assuming you're not 60, because if you don't have the horizon, then it's different. But still, you get the point. So, all right. Okay, knight d2 or rook c1. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked here by Gukesh. I'm shocked by Gukesh, honestly. I'm really shocked here that he's so deep in the tank. What do I think about Baba? I've owned Baba over a long time. I've sold a bunch of covered calls, luckily. I think my average buy, I mean, I bought it at an average of I think 120, because I believe, if I remember correctly, I sold puts for like 160 for like $20. So I bought it 140 effectively, so that's plus 20, which is 120. I was selling covered calls for like a year or two at $10 for about 20% out. So I think my average buy is around 100, so I believe I'm still down on it. Long term, I think it'll be fine, but it's been a dog for forever. It's been a dog for a very, very long time. I'm not bullish on China, by the way. I don't put any money in the Chinese ETFs or any of that stuff anymore. It's all about America. You don't have to like America, but it's all about America. Emerging markets, garbage. China, terrible. I mean, it's all about America. America's great. All right, let's see what Gukesh will play here. Knight d2 is the best move here. Knight d2 or rook c1 are the two moves. Yes, those are the two moves. Very, very dangerous position here. Very dangerous position. But I'm gonna be honest here. I'm really confused. I'm really confused here. I don't know what's going on. Cover calls are great until they aren't great. I'll give you a great example of something I'm really pissed off by. I'm up, but like a couple months ago I was feeling pretty good. I had sold some covered calls on United Airlines of all things, because it's an airline. You don't expect much to happen, and United Airlines literally is up like 100% in the last like 3 months. And so like I made money, but I literally missed out on a huge amount of money. So it doesn't always work out. Okay, we get so Ding recalled it, and we get it, and now Polymarket's gonna spike. Oh, here's my chance. If I could bet, here's my chance, and I would be buying. I'd buying with this hand over fist before the spike back up. I would be buying this hand over fist. So Ding was able to remember it. I'm really freaking impressed. I'm really impressed by this. This is incredible. He was able to remember it. It took him a bunch of time to remember it, but he did. Wow. He was able to remember it. Amazing. He wasn't trolling. I'll tell you what was going through his mind. He was probably trying to remember it. And then once knight d7 was played, he remembered that knight d2 rook g8 was correct. Or there's the other part, which is he was worried about a different line, like rook c1 or something else that might trap the bishop. But yeah, this is I mean, amazing. Chef's kiss. This is like, and the Oscar goes to no. This is like seriously good. This is seriously good. I'm sad that Ding remembered. Why am I sad? I'm not sad. Oh, it's still at 44%. Really interesting. We'll take a look later. Interesting. No, he was able to basically what I said is true. He might not have remembered the exact line, but he was able to remember there was a rook g8 somewhere in the line. He was able to remember there's a rook g8 somewhere. He was able to remember rook g8 was in the line somewhere. Even if he doesn't remember it by heart, he was able to remember there's a rook g8 somewhere. I said no one could play it. Yeah, if they had never seen it before is what I said, but thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what people say. Like, people are hilarious. That's not what I said at all. What I said is that if you've seen the concept, you can find it, but if you've never seen that rook g8 is a move, you're not going to find it. But also, you wouldn't have had a chance to lose money because after knight d2 he played rook g8 instantly. So you wouldn't have had a chance to lose money because Ding played it right away. If Ding had thought for a little time, then yes, you would have bet and lost money. But Ding didn't actually think. He played it instantly, so you wouldn't have had a chance to make the bad bet and lose money. So Ding's doing a solid for everybody out there. He's doing a solid because he played rook g8 right away, so you wouldn't have had time to make the bad bet. Yeah, Ding basically did everybody a solid. He did. Because he didn't spend any time. If he spends even 2 minutes there, maybe, but he played it instantly. So, yeah. Pretty funny, actually. Listen to the music. Whoa, whoa, listen to the music. I think I'm joining in 30 minutes, by the way, with take for anybody who's wondering. So I'll make sure I get the email thread and we'll go from there. So I get the V mix. I guess I'll have to use Edge for it though, which is gonna be weird. I'll have to use Edge, which I haven't used literally in like 1,000 years. I don't think I've used Microsoft Edge in literally like 15 years. I used IE back in the old day. Not sure why Rook G is so hard to see. It's a wide open file. It's a weird move to see because you're playing for G5 here. It's a very unusual idea. And now the pressure is definitely on Gukesh, and I think for Gukesh, I'm gonna be honest, like from a psychological standpoint here, you're not happy if you're Gukesh. You're really upset. You're really upset here if you're Gukesh, because like I'll tell you how it works. The way it works is, as a player, when you surprise your opponent with great preparation at the top level, you're feeling really good about yourself. It's like, okay, I've got my preparation with the supercomputer, I'm feeling good, I'm in great shape. And then when your opponent thinks forever and you're up an hour on the clock, your emotions, your optimism, it continues to grow. And then it's like, so you're feeling more confident. Ding keeps thinking or sinking deeper into the tank, thinking about the position, and so you're getting more and more confident. And then he pulls Rook G8 out, and it's just like, it's so deflating. It's very hard when that happens because you're already having these delusions of grandeur, and it's very difficult psychologically. Very difficult. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to deal with. Because literally, I'll tell you, I mean, not that he's really thinking about like winning the game, but he's probably feeling very optimistic. He's like, okay, I'm up an hour on the clock. I know that he's in trouble. This position is good for white. He's not going to be able to find the best move. And all those things are just snuffed out immediately after Rook G8. I'll ask this again, Hikaru. Did people forget about game one? Game one is much different from this game, and I'll tell you why. The game one, it was not a situation where there was one specific move that was okay. He didn't have to walk the line. He had a couple of options about picking an option, but it wasn't a position that was super critical. This position is super critical. Very critical position where he has to play the best moves. It's very different because he doesn't have the leeway to play any number of moves. That's why this is much different. It's not a situation where he can play like one of 5 moves and be fine. He has to play one of 1 move to be fine. If G5, you go knight H5 here, and now after bishop E3, you're no longer able to, like what white really wanted here was you want rook C1 to hit the bishop, or to potentially play something like F3 and E4 to build a big white center. But if you go G5 here after G5, knight H5, bishop E3, now after like bishop F5, I guess you can play F3 and try to build a big white center, but you have double pawns here. I'm a little bit skeptical about this position. A little bit skeptical about that idea. And if you go here, black also gets the bishop back, and then it's just a really nice wooden shield where the bishop hits all the diagonals from distance. Hammer is convinced Gukesh will win the game. I mean, he could win the game, but I mean, what has to happen here is Gukesh has to basically do the exact opposite of what he did in game 1. He has to really control his emotions here and really buckle down. I think in game 1 his emotions definitely played a role. I think he became too confident. He started feeling like he was going to win the game. He was obviously very nervous. First game of World Championship, no doubt about it. But I think it's a very similar situation where he's going to have to control his nerves here. And if he does, I think he's still maybe a little bit better, but he's going to be very precise, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult here. I don't agree with the take that I don't agree with the take with Magnus saying Gukesh has no intuition. He does have intuition, but I think like the method, the way that he learned chess is based off of pure calculation. So it is something that that is a thing. I mean, but no intuition I think is a little bit harsh, a little bit too harsh in my opinion. But obviously I assume Magus was pretty upset with the result from game 1, because I'm sure Magus, like a lot of people, wants Gukesh to win, is my guess. Yeah. I'll be joining Take in 30 minutes. I don't know if it's Hammer Magus or just Hammer, but no, I'm not betting. I'm in the US. Also, frankly, with what I'm saying, I don't think I could bet. Isn't that kind of illegal? I mean, I don't know. It would be kind of maybe it's not illegal, but it'd be very shaky. It'd be very shaky to be saying what I'm saying and betting on it too. Oh, then again, the SEC, I mean, the SEC is a bit of a joke anyway. So yeah, the SEC is a joke. I swear, almost every day I see something ridiculous happen in some stock, and you never hear anything about people going to jail for it. Yeah, like let me find this. Like I love this one, by the way. Yeah, let me find this. Yeah, I love this one. Yeah, I love this one. This was a great one, by the way. This was a great one. This is a great tweet. This was a while back. How long ago was this tweet? I had this bookmarked. This was October 7th. This was like a month ago, you guys. Look at this tweet. This was a great tweet, by the way. I love this tweet. Just to show you guys a tweet. Someone likely insider trade on Napa's deal, turning $50,000 into millions. Napa gets less than $1,000 of options activity daily. Yet on September 19th to 23rd, a trader bought many Napa $7.5 calls expiring October 18th, over 50x normal call volume, and a buyout was announced like one day late, and a buyout is announced like a couple days later. Yeah, there's a buyout announced. Like someone literally buys a bazillion options of stock where there's no options activity, and then there's a buyout that happens. A buyout happens, the stock rallies 100%, and those options go from 13 cents to $3.29. Like, hey baby, what can I say? Like, I mean I saw this. It's like, yeah, just let's just bet 50k on calls, and there's never any options activity. Let's just bet $50,000 on calls in this random stock. I'm just gonna do that. Like, why not? Like, I mean, Jesus, just insane, just absolutely insane. Yeah, it just felt right. Yeah, it just felt right. Just a crystal ball. It just felt right. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the game. Well, I shouldn't take. Of course. Trader playing on intuition, not deep calculation. Of course you could, but if you're playing on intuition, not deep calculation, you'd probably bet like $2,000 or $3,000. You wouldn't bet 50,000. I mean, come on, let's be real. Yeah, the SEC will fine you 2 Robin Bulls if you bet on chess. Yeah. I mean, just hilarious. Actually hilarious, by the way. Actually hilarious. Okay, Gukesh deep in the tank here. XQC bet 700k on Kamala L. XQC was an idiot. He should have hedged the bet. Like, he was such an idiot on that bet to not hedge it. Just completely ridiculous to not hedge it. Because I did hedge it. That's why I made money, because I hedged it. But of course I play chess, so I'm good at strategizing, and XQC doesn't play chess, so it happens. How do I hedge that? I told you guys I hedged it by buying a call spread on Tesla. I basically, I mean, I should have bet even money on both sides. I didn't, but basically I bet 2x on Harris to win. I bet 1x on Tesla, but Harris was 1 to win 1, and Tesla was 3 to 1 odds. So I closed out Harris actually at 50% loss, which was also very genius on my part. But even if I lost 100%, I still made 300% on Tesla. So like, I still win either way. That's how you hedge. You hedge both sides of the bet by doing that. You hedge via options in the stock market, and then you can just do your prediction bet or whatever. Yeah. I should have bet even money. I didn't bet even money because the odds were different. It was 1 to 1 and 3 to 1. That's why. But I should have bet. I lost, bro? What do you mean I lost? I won bigly on Tesla. What are you talking about? I'm aware of delta hedging, obviously. You're trolling, but anyway. Okay, let's see what Gukesh will play in this position. Hedging is for the weak. Thank you. Hedging is for the weak. Yes. Hedging is for the weak, of course. It's for the weak. All in. All in, baby. All in every time. You remind me of that guy that I saw posting on Wall Street Bets. Has he actually lost his $1 million yet? I should look. WSB. Because that is like the one Reddit that I do actually look at. There's a guy who basically turned, I think, $1,000 into $1 million on MicroStrategy. And then he lost $440,000 on new set of calls in MicroStrategy. And then he lost $300,000 on SPY calls. Let's see. Okay. It says turn 1k into 1 million, now to 350k. I will get back to the top, set it for the comeback. Yeah. Current position is 3,210 Amazon weeklies. Oh my god. So this guy literally has 210 weekly calls expiring on Friday in Amazon. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus. Let me open this image. That's always great. That's always a good thing to do. What is this? 96 cents for November 29th. Those are going to go worthless, by the way. Those are going to go worthless. Jeez. This isn't me, by the way. This is from Wall Street Bets. Yeah, it's just that's $288,000 in the weeklies, and those weeklies are going to zero if Amazon isn't up in the pre-market today. Guy turns 1k into $1 million, and then he's gonna lose it all. Ay. Okay, the things you see in life. Hedging is for the weak. Just bet it all. Just bet it all. I think the market's red too, naturally, right? Let me see where Amazon's at. Is Amazon up? Amazon is 207.86. Yeah. And there's no trading tomorrow because the markets are closed for some reason. So there's no trading. There is a chance. There's definitely a chance, but like that's just so insane. Bros, yeah, about everything but chess because Gukesh hasn't moved. Maybe it's time to read too. But okay. Let's see what Gukesh plays here. I think I'll read later. I don't want to actually no, if I'm gonna read, I should read now, probably. I'm mildly worried about the next couple of months, but yeah. All right, waiting for a move here. Let's see what we get. Gukesh deep in the tank. I think Gukesh is I wouldn't say he's out of prep, but he's probably trying to remember what the best move is here. Because if he has looked at this line, all these moves are the top computer line. Knight d7 and rook g8 is the top computer line, so he should have some vague recollection of it is. But let's see. We get g5 here. We'll get knight h5, I assume. Question mark apparently. Knight h5, and then let's see. Should be played pretty soon. No, it's not a blunder. It's not the best move, but it's not a blunder. It's not a blunder. It's a very lively game here. We'll get knight h5 almost for sure. Ding should play knight h5 pretty much instantly. No other move really makes sense here. Bishop h2 knight g7 is actually an interesting maneuver. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, okay, again, it's very complex. If Ding finds knight h5 knight g7, he's better to bring the knight to center. If he doesn't find it, I mean, he's not better. I wouldn't say that he's better. He's not. Knight h7, isn't there rook h1? Yeah, like this knight's getting trapped. Why is Ding not moving knight h5 immediately, by the way? I'm a little surprised. Is he looking at 94 maybe? I mean, Knight h5 is a move you should play in 2 seconds. Yeah, and he does play it. Okay. Yeah. Got bishop h2 here. Now another big moment in the game. Let's see if we get knight g7 here. This is the best move, but big moment. Bye. It's sitting at 45. No, I mean, actually the problem with this though, and the reason that actually it's hard to bet on this, is because the markets are using recency bias and they're not giving Ding fair value. Ding should be the favorite right now. If he's ahead in this match after 3 games, he should be the favorite, but everyone has this massive recency bias, at least on Polymarket. So they have Ding as the underdog even though he's ahead in the match, and that's just wrong. That's just fundamentally wrong. But it's not going to go up massively. So like it's not going to go up massively even if he draws this game. Now knight g7 is a good move. Rook h8 apparently also a good move. I would play knight g7, knight e6 probably. Bishop g7, another natural human move too, maybe. Bishop f5, probably not great, but also playable, I suppose. He hasn't moved yet. No more moves. We're waiting for a move after this. So, all right. Why didn't I just beat Gukesh in the candidates? You know, the thing with the Gukesh game is that I had a chance to beat him in the first game with black. That was my chance to beat him, was in that first game we played in the Sicilian. I had like there was like one moment when I had a glimmer of hope and I missed it. But second game where I was white, I had no chance to beat Gukesh. I had no chance. Why did I draw a vid at the first game? I lost my mind. The second game, he played a great game. I took my chance, I took my shot, and it didn't work. I don't actually regret either of those games against Vidit. I don't. I think what I did was completely correct. I didn't draw Abasov twice. I drew him once and I beat him. If you want me to, if you want to have a crystal ball and say, okay, in game 3 I should have gone crazy, thank you for telling me that. But like asking me to go crazy in the 3rd round of a tournament when it's 14 rounds is just, I mean, a little bit too much. Like, yeah, if I have a crystal ball and I know it's going to happen, of course I would go crazy in that game. But yeah, like I beat him with white in round. I beat him with white in round 8 or 9 or whenever it was. Like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Can I get an update on the game? The opening was pretty normal. We got this classic Queen's Gambit declined at the start. It was pretty normal. We got the c4 e6 takes knight c3 c6 queen c2. We got g6 here from Ding. This is all pretty standard theory with the idea of bishop f5, but then we got h3, bishop f5, queen b3, queen b6, and already here we're kind of going off the beaten path a little bit. There is a game in this position between Kramnik and Arjun Erigaisi here, so there are some games played already here. I was feeling pretty good for Gukesh sacks a pawn. There's a lot of play here with like knight d2, rook c1, and f3 to trap the bishop. But we got h5, which is what Arjun played as well, so Ding knew the theory. But then in this position he thought for a very, very long time here after hg4, and I think all of us are getting very worried. g6 is very normal versus queen c2. The reason g6 is normal versus queen c2, for anyone who's wondering, is that normally what happens is if you play a very early system with takes, if black gets the bishop to f5 here, black is generally okay, because white normally wants the bishop to be on. We gotta move. Wait, let's refresh. Should we get knight g7? Okay, Ding played rook h8, completely reasonable too. Yeah, in a way rook h8 is more human than knight g7, just to go knight g7 next, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it, by the way. Here I am. Ding will win. I mean, this is getting... I'm gonna be honest, this is starting to feel a little bit scary. What is that face? That face is the face of someone who's actually starting to think about this much more seriously. I'm starting to become concerned. I'm actually gonna be honest. I'm starting to become concerned. I'm becoming concerned here. I'm starting to become concerned for Gukesh. Bishop h3 I don't think is a very natural human move, just walking into knight g7. Like, why do you want to give up the bishop pair here when you have double pawns and knights coming to the center? This doesn't feel very natural. This does not feel natural to play bishop h3. And without bishop h3 here with knight g7, knight e6, this is... I said 0% chance. I did, yeah, because I didn't think that he could find all these moves. No, this game, I mean, this game he's proving me wrong. He is actually. No, this game I mean, I wouldn't say Ding is in real trouble here, but, or not Ding, sorry, Gukesh is in real trouble, but he's in danger. Knight g7, knight e6. I mean, knight g7, knight e6. I mean, this is not, I don't know, maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm not loving it. Oh wow, big spike to 53. Big spike. Big spike. I mean, this isn't terrible for Gukesh yet, but I am worried because I feel like in this position somehow Ding's moves are mostly easier. Like, trying to put pressure on the central pawns with knight g7 seems pretty logical to me to go knight e6. Oh, I guess that's not correct, is it? No, you don't go knight e6 here. Oh no, because there's rook c1 and e4, right? Yeah, there's e4. Okay, but you go here and then bishop f5 or something. Is this it? Though actually this isn't so clear cut. He wants to go e4 here, or rook c1 and e4 to hit the bishop once it goes back to f5. I mean, it's not winning for anybody here. It's not winning for anybody. No, it's not winning for anybody here. But it's looking pleasant for Ding here. It's looking pleasant potentially. 0.5 means nothing. It means nothing at all. Like, the sample line is bishop g3, bishop e7, rook c1, bishop f5, e4, bishop e6, but this also doesn't feel natural somehow. This is really nothing. Ace. Okay, I mean, if you find this good for you, you deserve credit, but we'll see. No, if Gukesh loses this game, I'm going to be honest, I think he's just going to lose the match. I think he's going to fall apart and lose the match. So this is a very, very big game. No, I mean, if Ding wins this game, I think he's going to win this match. I don't think it's even going to be close if he wins this one. But again, it's way too early to say that. It's way too early to say that right now. It's way too early. Way too early. Because of course this game is like marginally better for black, but it's nowhere near a decisive advantage, and it's a computer evaluation, not a human evaluation. I said 0% chance because I really thought there was 0% chance. But what Gukesh is trying to do here, I mean, this is a position, by the way, I'll be honest, this is a position you would never ever want to have against Magnus with white. You would never want to have this position against Magnus with the white pieces. You would never want to have this against him. This is a position that I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think every top player would probably lose this with white against Magnus. If Magnus were black here, I think he would win this game against every top player. I think he would. That's how good he is. That's how good he is. Nah, I mean, it's just, Magnus is just a different level. Ding is better than Magnus. Yeah, I said it. Okay, even against me, I mean, I don't like this position for white objectively. I don't like it. Here comes the glaze. Yes. Yeah, I think I would lose this against Magnus too. Hikaru's doing the polymarket bet, what Elon did to Doge. Doesn't Elon actually own Doge though? Isn't that what makes it kind of insane? Doesn't he actually own Doge? He actually owns Doge, doesn't he? I'm joining in like 12 minutes. I'm joining in 12 minutes, you guys. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go use the restroom very quickly. I'm gonna go make some coffee. We'll be back in a second, and we're gonna join take in about like 8 or 9 minutes. So I'll be back in a second. Life goes on. Okay, we're back. All right, you guys, what happened? Do we get a move? No move, right? Yes. Life and the stream goes on. Yeah. Oh, I didn't look at my. I didn't look to see if my teeth look good. 1 second. Do my teeth look okay, or did I get something caught in between them? I didn't look closely. 1 second. I ate the ramen, so sometimes some of the like seaweed stuff got stuck in my teeth from the ramen, but I look okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna be joining the take people for a second, so let me figure out how I do this. That's great. I don't see Brave. Lovely. That's just great. I don't see it. Really? That's just great. 1 second, you guys. What chair would I choose if I were in the World Championship? I would choose a chair like the one I have here, like a very, very normal, like $100 Amazon Basics. One second, you guys. I have to figure this out. That should be music. There we go. That was too loud. I know. I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys what I did. I had to reset the sounds. Is it okay, or is it too loud again? It's too loud. So okay, I turned it down a lot. Still too loud? 1 second. Sorry about that, you guys. I have to reset it because the sound's not the tab's not showing. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Is my microphone still okay, or did my mic get scuffed too? Did my mic get scuffed as well or not? Music is a bit loud, so I'll turn it down a little bit more. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit more. Okay. How about now? Maybe better? Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. Okay, let me put the vmix in. Where's my edge? Yeah, sorry, you guys. I have to join take, and so I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. So let me put this here. Okay, let me turn on my cam. Do 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 do. All right, guys. All right, you guys can still hear me, I think, right? Can you guys hear me?
Magnus.
You guys still hear me? Okay, let's turn the music off. 1 second. Pause the music, and here we go. My chaining closed. No, I'm here. I'm going to be joining this broadcast in a second for anybody who's watching. I'll mute my microphone for a second, and just talk here until I join take. Is this what I should be doing? This is what I should probably show. Oh, you guys still hear me though, right? You guys still hear me? Cool. I'll wait to see if they let me join. I think it's just with Hammer. I think why I turn off the camera. I turn off the camera because I need the camera for the VMix to join them. That's why. That's why I joined them. 1 second, you guys. That's why. YouTube has no audio. I'm aware of that, you guys. I'll unmute the YouTube once I'll unmute the YouTube once I join them on the call. I don't want to see this. It's a draw. Okay. That's what I'll do. I'll watch on their channel easy with this audio. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna unmute it as soon as I join. As soon as I join, I'll unmute it. But I don't know when they're gonna bring me in. It's not scuffed, you guys. I mean, I could capture my cam too. Fine, just for now while we do this, I'm gonna capture myself. Okay, let me just change the scene. 1 second. I'm gonna capture myself just for right now, you guys. VMix, there we go. I'll just capture myself. 1 second. I'll capture myself just for this 1 second, and then we'll keep going, you guys. Just for right now. Just for right now, let's do it this way. There we go. I'll capture myself for the moment, you guys. Okay, so I'm just capturing the VMix, and then I'll just show myself for the time being. Okay, so here we go. Actually, I'll show the game. I'll pull the game up and I'll put the VMix like this. Here we go. Or wait, let me Control C, Control D. Here we go. Okay, there we go, you guys. So for the time being, you guys can see me. Tiny Hikaru in the corner. No, I'm here, you guys. You can hear me. I'll wait till they bring me in. When they bring me in, then I'll close it. But it'll work for right now. Yeah. Actually, I can also crop it better. I can do a better job of cropping. Here we go. This is much better time to crop. Yeah, and now I'm back, you guys. We're back as usual. There we go. We're completely fine. We're back as always. As always. Put the music on too. Why not? Sorry, it took me a second to get everything ready, but here we go. You guys can still hear me, right? It's like nothing ever happened. Yeah, it's like nothing ever happened. Am I too loud? A little more left. Oh, sorry, you're right. I should crop the you're right. There we go. Yeah, it's like nothing happened at all. I agree. Yeah. That looks pretty good, right? That looks pretty good. Yeah, looks pretty good. Oh, knight g7 played here. I'm way too loud. Wait, who's too loud? Yeah, I don't know why I'm not in the room yet, but whatever. Yeah, microphone is too low. Music is too loud. Music's too loud still. Okay, let me turn the music down. How about now? Yeah. Microphone should be good though, I think. Let me double check. The microphone should be fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Music didn't change. Wait, what? Wait, music didn't change? Wait, what? Oh, my microphone. What the heck did my microphone get scuffed to? Oh, microphone got so scuffed. Oh my gosh. Why is Windows such a bad program, you guys? Why is Windows such a bad program? Windows is such a bad program. Windows is such a bad program. My gosh. Oh. Oh. Okay, now it's fine, right? Is it fine now? Is it good now? Cam is blurry? Cam's not blurry. When are they gonna let me in, by the way? Yeah. It's good now. That's just Windows, you guys. Windows just resets everything. It just resets all the sounds. Everything gets resets. Cam is weird right now. I know the cam is weird. I'm gonna wait till... Are they gonna let me in, maybe? Maybe they'll let me in. Let me mute my microphone here. And let me mute my microphone in a second. Are they back? Let me see what they're saying.
And Gukesh definitely doesn't want to head into the rest day with another loss.
Are they gonna
right?
let me in or not? One second,
Yeah, no, that would be terrible. But then you have to balance it against your need to get a win, to equalize the score in the match. He wants both of well, he wants to win, and he wants to avoid losing, and sometimes that is a difficult risk assessment. Do I play the safe move or do I play the risky move? Playing the risky move increases your chance of winning and equalizing, but it also
my microphone is
the
super low
chance
again.
of,
It should be fine.
of losing and getting yourself even further into the hole.
What do you think are the risky and the good moves?
Why does my microphone suck?
Right now?
Why did my microphone just get reset, you guys?
The good thing for Gukesh is that Gukesh is just reacting to Ding's moves, which, speaking of Hikaru coming on, I think one of the most interesting things I learned from Hikaru this year was his thoughts on that it can be advantageous just reacting to the opponent's moves. Regardless of what the computer thinks of the position, it's nice to be the guy who's like, okay, I have this bishop here on the side of the board. My opponent attacks my bishop. Well, then I move the bishop. And so Gukesh's move is super simple because he's just reacting to the threat that Ding made, which had an obvious response in return. And now Ding is the one who has to consider, do I go up here? Do I go here? Do I retreat the bishop? Or do I do something else entirely?
Okay.
Ding less than 30 minutes, down to 27 now. Gukesh almost has an hour more than him on the clock. I think that's the biggest discrepancy in like how much time they have left that we've seen during this entire match so far.
Oh, don't put on.
This is a lot of
He
time to be
blundered?
down
What did he
on the
play?
clock.
Played rook h5. Mistake. Mistake! Big mistake!
Yes.
Big
Okay.
mistake. Big
Exciting
mistake,
times.
apparently.
What will happen? It is
Rook
okay.
H5.
That was unexpected. And look at the bar. Look at the bar.
Is this a blunder by Ding?
The rook moves up along the edge of the board. The bar is suddenly way in Gukesh's favor.
I'll hit it. The bar at least thinks this is a blunder by Ding. What is happening? What's your initial reaction to this move?
Are they going to let me in or not?
Firstly, the rook is now threatening towards a white pawn. But secondly, what is the situation for the black bishop? The bishop has not escaped from deep inside white's territory, and especially now that we see the bar go so far up in Gukesh's favor, my suspicion is the bishop. We have not saved the bishop appropriately. There are two ways for Gukesh to continue now, and none of them include saving the pawn that Ding has currently put under attack. Instead of defending his own pawn, Gukesh should focus on trying to
I'm in the link though.
black
I'm literally
bishop.
in the link.
Attempt number 1. The rook attacks the
I
bishop.
can try it again.
The bishop moves away. The pawn moves up in the middle of the board, attacking once again in towards the black bishop.
I've added an emoji, by the way, in the app now.
Oh.
A stressed emoji on that bishop who is fearing for his life. You can see it on the screen as well. I hope that was the right emoji to use in this situation.
Well, Kaya and I are too old to ask, at least. Yeah, no, here the pawn is attacking the bishop, and if the bishop moves back, then the trade between the pawns in the middle of the board is devastating for Ding, because as he captures back this white pawn, that has enabled a
Saying I did something wrong?
route of attack for the white knight to jump forward, and this white knight is going to come in here, attack the king, and attack the rook in the corner, and this becomes highly problematic to defend against. So for this reason, let's move back to the current situation. So if the rook attacks bishop, bishop moves back, pawn moves up. Basically, Ding, in order to keep his defenses, he's very dependent on this pawn on the c6 square.
I'll try it again, you guys.
And he cannot afford that this pawn gets distracted, having to defend and help out his buddy in the center.
I clicked the link, you guys.
So
I'm in
that
the
means
call.
if we reach this situation,
I'm literally in the call.
Ding is going to have to make the trade, and then after the trade back, now the bishop can escape and try and trade with the white bishop. And now Ding is threatening both to capture white's bishop, but also to capture white's pawn. And my immediate assessment is that Gukesh cannot avoid both of these captures, which makes me think this is okay for Ding. I think this is okay for Ding. Which then we have to backtrack to the current situation. Because if we believe that the immediate attack on the black bishop is not what's going to bring home the bacon.
No, I have no problem. I mean, for those of you guys who are wondering, I have no problem with that.
Oh, no, bacon is pig.
Confused.
I guess cows are the things Indian do not want to bring home. Okay, so maybe pawn forward first.
New link. Okay,
and the benefit of making this pawn advance first is that now you prevent the bishop from going back.
New link.
So you allow your opponent to capture the pawn that they targeted with their rook, but on the other hand,
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You can bring me in, I guess.
Do here to save that bishop?
Well, we can ask that question to Hikaru Nakamura joining us. Hi, Hikaru. Thank you for joining us. And we need to get sound to the studio of Hikaru, just telling my control room that. And we're very eager now, first of all, Hikaru, to ask your take on this game, which is, it feels like it's exploding at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a very interesting game so far. At the start, it very much felt like Gukesh had out-prepared Ding Liren, certainly, and it was very difficult. But then we got the sense that Ding was doing quite well, and now he's made a huge blunder with Rook H5. And I think basically am I muted here?
No, we hear you perfectly fine.
You guys hear me? Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you guys hear me. Okay, just making sure. I wasn't sure.
We
okay,
both
sorry
hear
about
and
that.
see you with the beautiful pineapple behind you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, basically, yeah, it feels very similar to game one, or it was feeling similar. Dean got very low on time right from the get-go, and then it seemed as though he turned it around. But unlike in game one, he's made a huge mistake here with this Rook H5 move. And I think really the big problem for Ding is that he's gotten too low on time. And it's actually quite telling because in the previous game, he was able to make a lot of moves very quickly after he played, I'm going to say like this knight b6 and knight c4, knight b2. I forget what move number that was in the game. But his moves, I think, were relatively a lot easier than they are here. And he also had like 35 to 40 minutes when he started turning it on and just moving instantly versus here where he's down to 27 minutes. So it's actually looking very, very bad here at the present time. Very surprising considering that he found all the very difficult moves, it felt like. Rook g8, or spending the time on knight b7, finding rook g8, finding rook h8, and then going rook h5. Kind of felt like a little bit of a panic move, in my opinion. Just playing that versus like a bishop f5 or maybe a bishop e7 or a knight e6. But that being said, the quality of the move matters a lot too. And I think these moves are not as easy to play as the moves that he was able to play in game number one. So it's looking very good for Gukesh at the moment, but I think a lot depends on whether he can control his nerves here and play e4.
Exactly. And Hikaru, in the studio here as well, we have Jon Ludvig Hammer. I know you guys know each other very well. We often see Jon Ludvig on your channel, especially commentating on your games. He's been preparing Jon Ludvig because he's nervous he's not going to follow your pace on our physical chessboard here in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So, at this moment, Jon Ludvig and Nakamura Hikaru, what should Gukesh do to take advantage of the situation right now to be able to guide this to a win that he really needs in the match?
Well, basically it comes down to one move, which is pawn to e4. Normally you play out on the first move, but Gukesh has a chance to play it here on move number, I think like 19, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If he doesn't play e4, I would say that he doesn't really have an advantage at all. But the great thing here, and probably the most important thing to this, is that unlike in the first game where the time was starting to even out as soon as Ding started playing knight b2 and queen c4 and all these moves with tempo, here Gukesh has basically an extra 50 minutes on the clock. So because of that, he can probably take 10-15 minutes, really try to do calculations. And his forte is definitely calculating. As Magnus said recently, he is someone who really, it's all about calculations. It's very little playing on intuition. And considering the amount of time he has, I think that there are great chances for him to win here if he plays e4. If he plays any move other than e4, I would actually be a little bit worried about this position. I would think that I would think that Ding could be better, but I expect him to play e4 because it is a position where you can calculate long lines. And if he plays it, I think he's going to win the game if he plays it, more than anything because of the time situation. Because Ding has to make 21 moves in 27 minutes in a position where there are not obvious moves. It's not like you can just play 2 or 3 quick moves here. Every move is going to require a little bit of a think. So the whole game here hinges on one move. It hinges on whether e4 is played or not.
I have a question, Hikaru, because I feel pawn to e4, seeing as how that cuts off the bishop's ability to make its escape, it feels to me like a pretty obvious move. And so do you have any thoughts on what Ding, what is it Ding has misunderstood about the situation to go into this?
So, I mean, my best guess is that Ding probably assumes that there's a tactical solution after e4, something like d takes e4, f takes e4. Maybe the order probably, I don't know if the order matters. So let's assume knight e6 here, not d takes e4. Let's start with knight e6. Something like knight e6, rook c1, knight takes d4, bishop f2, and bishop g7. This is my best guess in terms of what he thinks. And after... yeah, I'm actually watching the stream, so I'll see it. Is that after bishop g7, bishop takes d4, bishop d4, rook g2, there's some kind of tactical solution, but at least to me, it looks like the bishop on c2 is simply trapped. So I think that's probably what he missed. He probably thought there was a tactical solution like bishop f2, bishop g7, and then black's fine. But I think after bishop d4 takes rook g2, white probably wins the bishop. Maybe there's even something better, but this is my best guess for what happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, Gukesh is still thinking now for 11 minutes, so it's a good time for me to ask you, Hikaru. You announced on your Twitter earlier today that you are partnering with Take. We are so excited to have you on board, Hikaru. This is fantastic for Take. And why did you think it was a good fit for you to partner with Take?
Well, first of all, having looked at the app, it has a lot of features that you don't see in apps currently. I think, when you look at the commentary, for example, which I don't know if it's human. I think it's human, right? It's not AI.
We have the mod here in the studio commentating, doing the text commentary. Yep.
Yeah, so it's definitely quite different for sure versus all the apps that are out here. I think also looking at some of those player cards, having the ability to look at get the notifications, I would say, for the players who are playing in some tournaments. All those features are definitely things that are quite unique compared to what is currently on the market. So it's really exciting to see that. I think chess is something where there's a lot of potential for disruption, whether it's whether you look at apps or, on another note, you look at something like this freestyle too. There's a lot of potential for disruption across the board within the chess space. So I think it's just very exciting, and I'm looking forward to working with Take as we go forward. And e4 was played, by the way.
E4 was played. Yeah, there we are. Should we now discuss sort of what Ding should do? Is this now very difficult for him to find the continuation and save this? Because you did say, Hikaru, that you thought this could be winning for Gukesh if he did find that move.
I mean, I think the real there are two problems. I mean, the first one is that when you look at the games, they are being played without an increment. I don't remember exactly when the shift away occurred. I want to say maybe it was like 2018 when Magnus played Fabiano. It might have been before that. But I think the shift away from having a 30-second increment per move to having no increment plays a huge role, because the time management actually becomes a lot more critical when you are getting an increment from move number one. Like in a position, if you have like 15, 20 minutes, you never really feel like you're under time pressure. But certainly without the increment, I would say that once you're at around like 15 minutes or even 10 minutes, you start to panic a little bit. So the time situation is perhaps the biggest issue here, because with an increment, I wouldn't even be worried. I mean, Ding could even use 10 minutes on this move. Without the increment and no obvious moves, this becomes very, very dangerous. And I expect him to play knight e6, rook c1, knight d4, bishop f2, bishop g7 pretty quickly. But from there, we'll see what happens. I don't really see any other ideas. And I think it's kind of a situation where you kind of have to just go for it, because rook c1 is going to win the bishop. And there are no other moves that I mean, other than playing knight e6, I actually don't see a move. Like rook g5, rook c1 looks just winning for white.
Wow.
So this is very dangerous. And I think that, it'll be interesting to hear, but I have to be honest, even though Ding was able to work it out in game one, and he found a lot of moves very, very quickly, and they were great moves. It feels like, unlike the first game, he's actually going to get punished in this one for spending too much time. I think if he had 15 minutes or an hour on the previous move, he would not have played rook h5. I think he would have played bishop f5. But at the end of the day, when you're down an hour on the clock in a situation with the black pieces, very dynamic games, and no increment, you're going to get punished. You can't do that every game. And I think, unfortunately for Ding, this is a situation where the time management is unlike in game one. He's going to get punished for it. I don't see him surviving this.
Wow. Strong statement there from Hikaru. And while Ding is thinking, I'll ask another question about our partnership. I promised Levi Rosman yesterday, and I also promised our chat on YouTube, that I would ask you, Hikaru, what was your reaction when you saw this company launching with the name Take, which obviously is a catchphrase that you often use, takes many times. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it raises quite a few eyebrows, certainly. But at the end of the day, you know, I think there are many names for various apps out there, and associating a name with a catchphrase or something, certainly in this day and age of the internet, it can be a thing. But overall, I don't really look at it as something that's that big of a deal. Ultimately, I mean, as I said, it raised some eyebrows, but it's not really anything major, certainly.
Okay, I'm glad to hear. And now it works out perfectly because we are a team. We had another move now by Ding. He moved his pawn. Any surprises with this?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he captured on e4, Hikaru.
Okay, but it's still, we're gonna get the same line. We're gonna get takes in 96. Yeah, I think there some difference here?
No, these moves have happened. 96? So Gukesh
no. But what I'm saying is there a difference? Is there a difference between taking and going 96?
You would be the expert in that area, Hikaru.
I think it should be the same thing, I think. But maybe there's a difference that with the pawns trade on e4, maybe it's even more advantageous for white, perhaps. Maybe it's better for what? Maybe there's a difference here. I'm trying to understand, like, because I think the computer like 96 more than D takes e4. Just trying to understand why this is different. But I still think the same thing applies. We're going to get rook c1, bishop. We're going to get 96, rook c1 takes, bishop f2, bishop g7 takes, and rook g2 most likely. So yeah, I mean it looks great for Gukesh. But actually, this is what he wants. Maybe he wants 96, rook c1, 94, bishop f2, bishop g7 takes, rook g, let's say rook g2, and then maybe bishop b3, knight b3, and like a bishop e3 or a bishop e5, and try to argue that because there's so few pawns on the board, maybe black is completely fine. That's what I think he wants. I think that's his idea.
And
was that his idea also when he moved the rook up, or is this his like panic mode idea?
I mean, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I really have no idea what Ding is thinking. I mean, like, it's very hard to judge because if you listen to like his comments from the press conferences, he makes it sound as though he hasn't done any preparation at all, which I mean, I don't know how you take that. Like either you take it at face value when he says he's only prepared for 3 weeks, or you assume that means he's just in light preparation over the last couple of weeks or something along those lines. So I really have no idea what the reality is here because it's very hard to judge from his comments, you know, whether he's like super serious, whether it's like light preparation, serious preparation. It's just very hard to judge what's going through his mind. So I don't know. My assumption is that it's probably getting lower on time. He's attempting to make a tactical solution to this, where it's like he'd rather do something tactical so that he gets piece off the board. He doesn't have a lot to calculate, and he figures he can draw this, is my best guess. But on the other hand, he could have also just missed e4. Like, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, really.
Okay. Well, so at this point, Hikaru, you are saying that you think Gukesh will make a comeback in the match, and that we will be tied in the match before the rest day tomorrow.
I mean, I'm feeling good about it. I think the main reason I feel good about his chances here, assuming that it's a significant advantage, is that he has the time to think here. I mean, I know, like, we talk about the moves and how important they are, but time management, I think, is probably the most underrated component in the game of chess, especially when you're playing without increment. Because, you know, just to use an example, when I look back at that game, the fateful game from the candidates, which helped Ding qualify, between Fabiano and Nepo, I believe it was, I do not think there was an increment at the end of the first time control in the candidates either. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't. And if there had been an increment, Fabiano would have won that game before move 40. But because there was no increment, he had to make a couple of really quick moves at the end. And he made some mistakes, which allowed the game to go on. Obviously, he was winning later as well. But the point is, he would have won that game cleanly before move 40 with increment versus no increment. And that is a major thing that people don't really consider. So for Gukesh, the fact that he has all the time in the world here, it bodes very, very well for his chances. I mean, actually, to be honest, though, as I think about it more, this piece sack to me, I'm kind of right off. I'm struggling to find the reason that white should be much better. I know white is better, of course, because the engine says white is better. But without actually knowing the line, I'm starting to second guess myself a little bit in terms of what the solution is, unlike before. So I'm starting to drift a little bit back to where I'm not super convinced right off.
Yeah, because the situation we were analyzing there, Hikaru, in that Ding would have 3 pawns in trade for the bishop. Do you feel like that's generally enough, or would you say a bishop is often worth more than 3 pawns? Because just going off the standard thing that a bishop is worth 3 and units, and the units in chess we often refer to as pawns, a lot of people could see that position and just assume that, well, Ding has it under control.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a little bit of a hot take. I think as far as chess goes, frankly, if the piece values were static, chess would be much more popular, because then you could literally say 3 pawns equals a bishop, 3 equals 3. Or, like a knight equals 3 pawns, 3 equals 3. It's an equal trade. As we know in chess, unfortunately, that's not how it works. Pieces have dynamic values. So I think that objectively, though, I mean, this is much deeper in terms of concepts, but I would say that the bishop, the extra piece, whether it's the bishop or the knight there, should be better for white objectively. But it's also much more about what moves are like playable and plans versus who has defined the ideas to begin with. And I think that's something that applies, I would say, at the level from like IM up, certainly, where international master or higher, where in many cases, it's not about like the objective evaluation that you can see with a computer. It's much more about who has the easier moves or who has the easier ideas. And in many cases, when you're able to just react, that's actually a lot more pleasant and easier to play than having to find the ideas. Having to actually work hard to come up with something, whether it's chess or anything else in life, it's much easier just react and have to actually think and figure it all out. So I think what I would say is that for Gukesh, he has to know that there's something here. But figuring it out, it's a lot harder figuring it out than it is for Ding, where he can simply react to it. And if you can react, you can always just be Ding chilling. So it's all good.
Well, we did a recap with Magnus yesterday, Hikaru, and he was disappointed with the fact that Ding entered into a quite quick draw yesterday in game 2. He thought, Magnus, that it would be chances for Ding to win that game. Do you think, would you agree with Magnus, first of all, and do you think Ding will end up regretting that he didn't push for a win and maybe loses this game?
Well, I mean, first things first, let's be clear that there's a slight difference between Magnus and everybody else. At the end of the day, it's really very hard, I think, to kind of put this into perspective. But there are many little things. So first things first, when you look at this match or you look at the last match, you'll notice that the players are showing great variety. So Gukesh, for example, he's already played both D4 and E4 on the first move. Now, when Nepo was playing against Magnus, or when Fabiano was playing against Magnus, you'll probably remember that in those matches, both Fabiano and Nepo, they were playing 1 E4 every single game. And the reason for that is that it's generally acknowledged. Players aren't going to say this publicly, even though within themselves that they know it's true, because it's psychological. Is that against Magnus, you don't simply want to play a game of chess. You don't want to play a normal position against him, because he has the best natural feel and ability for the game of chess by a big margin. It's honestly not even close. So you don't actually want to play a game against him. You want to go into these long computer lines. You want to try and prepare super hard. But the last thing you want against Magnus is to actually play chess. So when we look at this match, you're seeing big variety. You're not seeing the same first move. You're not seeing some like massive battle in the Sveshnikov opening like between Fabiano and Magnus in that 2018 World Championship. So it's very different when we talk about like the type of positions. Like yesterday's position, if Magnus has a position with the white pieces, because of his natural skill and ability in endgame, he probably would love to press that position. But there are a lot of these endgames that I frankly will say where players get them, and many players would not be able to try and win that position with the white pieces, whereas Magnus is simply unique. There are many examples of this. I think I'll take just one general example from the what was that event? There was some event that Magnus played Wesleyan recently. I forget what it was. Oh, it was Tata Steel India, and they played this opening, this Petrov. It was a variation called the Damiano. Now, the reason I bring this up is because in that game, Magnus won in this end game that's pretty dry with the white pieces. But I actually kind of brought this opening back. I resurrected it a little bit in the Chess Champions Tour in 2023. And when I played it, I felt that it was a great opening choice to go straight into this endgame against anybody not named Magnus. I thought that I would draw it very easily against everybody except Magnus. Whereas if I played against Magnus, I thought I would probably get outplayed and lose in the endgame. And that's just one example of like an endgame where I personally believe that if I were to play that endgame against anybody else, literally anybody else on planet Earth, that I would not lose. But against Magnus, I would lose that. No, I mean anybody except for Magnus.
Except Magnus.
That I would just draw the game. I would just draw the game, no worries whatsoever. But against Magnus, I think I would lose that end game. And then Wesley, for example, played against Hans Niemann, the U.S. Championship, drew very comfortably, plays against Magnus in Tata Steel, and he ends up losing this end game that he drew very easily in classical chess, maybe 2 weeks earlier. And I think that so then, like, to put that into context, when we talk about this end game, I think for Magnus, he would have had great chance to win just because he's Magnus. But I would say for most people, I think it was a little bit of an advantage, but it would have required very, very precise play from Ding. And I also think with the match score the way it was, Ding was never going to push there because I think he was very content to be up by a score of 1.5 after 2 games.
You mentioned, endgames there, Hikaru, but I also mentioned openings. And I really wanted to ask, listening to that, how much time do you spend working on openings? You're probably like the busiest man in chess with both playing, streaming, all the work that you do. How much time do you spend on working with openings, especially heading into like a World Rapid and Blitz Championship in December?
Yeah, I mean, I think not that much. Now, what I would say is that chess has changed a lot probably over the last 4 years. It's a very different game than it used to be before. The access to information is much greater than it ever has been at any time in history, whether it's chess or otherwise. And I think for me, the biggest difference is that these days it's very easy to find chess courses that grandmasters put out there. I'll very specifically say Chessable. And so the actual ability to study, I would say, is far less relevant than being able to find the information that is out there currently. And so I do look at quite a bit of chess still, but I would say that it depends what the definition of study is. But studying when I was actually playing chess a lot more like pre-pandemic, it was certainly very much trying to find ideas and openings, doing a lot of that sort of work. Whereas now mostly it's simply, looking through a course, trying to find some idea that I think is playable and going with it. So I think that in many ways, and this is probably another hot take, if not for something like Chessable, if not for that information being readily available, if we're back in 2019, I honestly don't think that I could probably maintain the level that I'm maintaining right now, just because it would be too much to be looking for the actual ideas versus the ideas simply existing. And I think, to use another example, one of the other people who's involved, Levy Rosman, I think it's very much the same thing, where when you look at his matches, his tournaments at Spain or the matches against Pia, it's very clear that he's been looking at courses too. Like he started playing a lot of these openings, like the Janowski, and it's very clear that much like me, when I looked at Max Vornerdam's course before playing that opening, that Levy did the exact same thing. So that information that's out there right now, it's more a matter of being able to find the information and then just making little tweaks to that versus having to come up with the ideas. And so it's a very different world now than it used to be. And I think if not for that, I mean, I don't think I would be at the level I'm at, but the playing field is very level these days. And which, at the end of the day also speaks to how great Magnus is, that with everybody having this information, he's still the best player. So I do study openings somewhat, but it's more about finding the information than anything else.
And I'm going to ask you about Magnus, but first, Hikaru, we had a move now just in the game. Gukesh moved his rook. The bar is still liking it for him. What do you think?
It's good. I mean, I am feeling better for Ding a little bit here, even if it's
Okay.
objectively bad. And the reason is because now Ding is going to get to play, let's see, so knight d4, bishop g7, and bishop d4. He's going to get 3 or 4 moves that he should play within like 30 seconds here.
Well,
like
he
should play
already
knight d4
thought for a
instantly.
minute and a half, Hikaru.
I mean, but here you have to you bang out knight d4, you bang out bishop g7, you bang out bishop takes d4.
I agree. I'm with
here.
you, but Ding is still thinking. It's now been 1 minute 40 seconds.
He is not banging out
bishop
moves.
takes e4.
And I've actually written down all the things that Hikaru has said about these different moves, but now we got knight takes d4, so we can just copy paste that comment into the app.
Oh, you know what I think? You know what I think he was looking at? He was looking at rook g5, rook c2, knight d4 for a brief second. That's what he was looking at. Rook takes g5, rook c2, knight takes d4. But the point that I was going to make is that he's going to be able to play a lot of quick moves. So you're going to get knight d4, bishop f2, bishop g7, and bishop g7 and bishop takes d4. You play it in 5 seconds, and after you get those moves, it's a much more clarified position with a lot less possibilities. Like black either has to go bishop e3 to try and take the pawn on g5, or you put a piece on e5, or you castle. But you're running out of options. And this gets back to what I was saying before about how chess is such a very rich game, because I'll be honest, this position that black has here, I think that if I got this in just like a blitz game, like in a Title Tuesday or something with like no increment or 1 second increment, I would actually prefer to be black, because not having options and just having to play one or having like 1 or 2 moves to play at every point versus having to think is great. That's what you want in a blitz situation. And so then to put that in context with the current position for Ding, he should be able to play a lot of moves quickly. Now, obviously, Gukesh is still better, and he very likely can go on to win this game. But at least for Ding, time is not going to be a factor.
Okay. Well, the bar is now saying much better for Gukesh. He could be about to make
After
a comeback.
what?
Bishop g7
is
is
the
the
question?
latest move.
Right. But after what? I'm really curious.
Yeah, no, we're interested.
Oh, 92. Ooh.
Wait,
Oh,
now?
92.
Well, so the bar is saying much better
Ooh.
for Gukesh in the current situation.
Ooh, 92. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, that's a tough move.
Oh. So that's not a
tough
human
to
move.
find.
Okay.
No, but I mean, but what I would say here is with 58 minutes on the clock, where you can think for 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it's definitely not a natural move. Like I didn't see it. I didn't see it right off. It's a move where if you have time to think, I think with 10 minutes on the clock, you probably don't find it. 15 minutes on the clock, you can just like take a breather, get some tea, whatever, and spend 20 minutes on this move. And I think actually there's a very good chance he'll find 92. I think there's a very good chance. And also the reason this is probably a lot better is now you keep the bishop pair on the board. If you take the knight on d4, you don't have the bishop pair. But here you're going to be able to keep the two bishops. So actually 92 is a very, very strong move.
Okay. But you mentioned the situation for Ding is that he has these one moves sort of to find. For Gukesh, is it now difficult because he has to maneuver some tough choices? Or does he have several moves he can play?
I mean, it looks like it's the only move that's very good, but I think for Gukesh, it's a great spot to be in because he's definitely a pure calculator, and this is a position where you want to do deep calculations. So I think the ability to just calculate every possibility here, by process of elimination, I do think he will find it.
Okay.
If he doesn't find it, that will be a very, very big miss.
Uh-huh. Well, we can see on our screens here in the Take studio, Gukesh has closed his eyes, and he is probably calculating this position. So I want to ask you, Hikaru. Magnus Carlsen, he's a co-founder of this company. You guys have been the biggest rivals in chess for such a long time, and now you're teaming up. How do you feel about being a team member now with Magnus?
Yeah, I mean, certainly we've both had very long and illustrious careers, but I think having the chance to be sort of on the same side of, a business venture, which is outside of chess.com, of course, is quite interesting. I think that when you look at the world of chess, you have the 3 biggest people in the space right now all involved with this project. So It's going to be exciting to work alongside Magnus and potentially Levy as well, to try and build out this app. But in general, I think over the years there have been a lot of rivalries, a lot of people in one camp or another camp, and just having the opportunity to work together should be interesting to see what the general reactions are from the fans.
And Gukesh has found this knight to e2 move a great move, not rushing to try and capture Black's bishop, removing the defender, like Hikaru said, without losing the very important bishop controlling the dark squares. And with this move, Ding is in massive trouble.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, I'm struggling to figure. I mean, basically the main problem for Black here is it's not being down a piece for the 2 pawns. It's that White's going to keep the 2 bishops. The bishop pair is what makes this so bad in the long run. And I honestly think that at this point, it's going to be very, very difficult for Ding to save this. I mean, knight takes b3, I think to me at least looks like the only move here.
And that is what Ding has played.
Yeah, rook takes c2, knight takes d2, rook takes d2. And it looks, I mean, I wouldn't, I mean, it's not completely lost, of course, but the 2 bishops give White great chance to win this. I mean, like, I think we'll get like knight b3, rook c2, takes, rook takes d2, knight e5 probably. I mean, knight d4. It's pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. Let's put it that way. It's pretty ugly. After knight e5, knight d4, castles. I mean, still practical chance for Ding to maybe survive this, but I with the 2 bishops on the board, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long game.
Okay, well, we like long games. Hikaru, now we have Gukesh thinking again, so I will ask you about the World Rapid and Blitz Championship coming up in December. We are so excited in Take to follow your games very closely. They're obviously in the app. You can highlight and favorite your favorite players. Hikaru is one of the most favorited players, not a surprise. 77,000 people already has highlighted you, Hikaru. So for the World Rapid and Blitz, what do you expect and what will be your ambition there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main way that I look at it is simply trying to play good chess. I would say that certainly it's an uphill battle relative to past years. I think in most years past, there's been Magnus and maybe to some degree a player like Maxime or Nepo who've been very strong contenders as well. Now, of course, Ali Reza is playing perhaps the best blitz chess at least of his life. So it's going to be exciting to play in it. I mean, I think for me, the main thing is what I say with every tournament, which is simply to be competitive. If I'm competitive and I play good chess, good things can happen. So I'm looking forward to it. I would say for me, like, when I look at the events, though, I really would like to do well in the Rapid perhaps as well, because I think in Rapid, there was the one year in 2019 when I played Magnus in the last round. I got, I think, second place with that draw. But other than that year, I don't think I've really ever been close to winning in the Rapids. So I actually kind of want to try and put in a good effort there, because Rapids is the one thing where I haven't traditionally performed very well.
And we see Gukesh has moved his king. What would it mean to you, Hikaru, at this point in your career?
Maybe Hikaru wants to react to the king, because that's Hikaru was analyzing capturing with the rook, and Gukesh deviates from that using his king instead.
Yeah, I mean, apparently this is the best move. I don't really understand why, but apparently it is. I'm guessing it's because knight e5, you have rook c3 probably, and the knight has no good squares, something like that. Is my guess. Yeah, actually, I get it. I get the point. Yeah, the point is that you go rook c3, and then you're gonna have a bishop d4 maybe at some point as well. Yeah, I think after rook c3, you slide the king to c2, and you have bishop d4, bishop g3, and yeah, it's looking pretty good for actually you also have rook h3 somewhere too, like castles, king c2, a6. There might be a rook h3 or something. Yeah, there might be a rook h3 there. But again, it's still not what I would say. It's not like a game over situation. There's quite a ways to go. So we'll see. But the more I look at it, the more confident I become. For Gukesh, I think there's a very, very decent chance that he will. There's a very decent chance that he'll win this game and even it up.
Okay. And what do you think about the match then? If they are tied after 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to judge because obviously Gukesh coming into this match is the massive favorite. There's really no other way of putting it. But of course, Ding won the first game, which certainly had to feel like a big advantage to him at the time. But what's funny is I think that if you were to ask Ding, I think he would say that if he were tied after 3 games, knowing that he'd black in game 1, he'd probably say he'd be happy with that result overall. So I don't know really how much it matters in regards to Ding. I think for Gukesh, it's very important that he wins this game and ties up the match because psychologically, I think that first game came as a huge blow to him. I think he probably did not expect to lose that game. And he is someone who I think really just does ride the confidence very well when he's playing well, has that momentum. He tends to do very well. So for him, it's very important that he wins this game. For Ding, it's much harder to judge. I don't think he'll be happy if he loses this game, but I also don't know if it's going to change a whole lot for him. So, but at any rate, I mean, I think definitely in terms of having a competitive match, it was actually very good that Ding won the first game because so many people, frankly, including myself, who were kind of expecting Gukesh to draw first blood and win a game early. So to have it go the other way, to have this be competitive is really good. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Ding Liren is the reigning champion. Hikaru, you are a reigning champion in Fisher Random. But at this point in your career, what would it mean to take the title in the Rapid and or Blitz in December?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would say it would be nice to win. For me at this point in my career, mostly when I do play in these events, I simply want to be competitive more than anything. That's my main goal. It's not really about winning anymore for me. So if I'm competitive and I play good chess, I'm generally going to be pretty happy with that as opposed to needing to win to accomplish something. Mainly, I would say that's also because for me, when I look at my career in general, I think ultimately I'm going to be remembered much more for what I've done for in the online space than my over the board play. So for me, winning either a Rapid or a Blitz would be very nice. It'd be a bit of a feather in my cap per se. But that would still be a very much an individual accomplishment versus something that has helped the chess in the broader perspective. So for me, it would be nice to win. And that would be great, but it's not, I don't really look at it as something that's like, let's just say going back to say 2019 or 2020, or sorry, 2018 or 2019, where, for example, when I lost a tiebreaker, it was 2019, I think in Moscow, I think, or St. Petersburg, I forget where it was, when I lost a tiebreaker in Blitz to Magnus, like that actually was pretty devastating at the time, I would say, because that was the closest I had come to winning. So back then it was devastating. Now, if that were to happen, I mean, I'd be a little bit unhappy, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. So it'd be nice, but ultimately I just want to play good chess and enjoy the game. Certainly for myself, I think the way I would put it is the end is much closer than the beginning for me. So if I can just play good chess and enjoy it, that's my goal.
Okay. Well, we hope you're going to keep playing for many years, Hikaru, and we're so happy that you're now a team member of Take. So with what you are doing, with how you're popularizing chess with your stream, with Magnus now with Take, a good home for chess, an easy way to follow games. How do you see the future for chess? Do you think it's going to be a global sport for people to enjoy, to watch, and not only play?
Yeah, I think you look when you look at chess historically, there have been many sort of booms over the past, let's just say 35 to 40 years, just starting with the Fischer boom specifically and going from there. There've been actually, I guess that was 72, so that's 50 plus years actually. But there have been many booms, there have been many periods of interest where the interest has peaked, and it's there have been ebbs and flows. I think for me, when I look at the future, I'm really curious to see what happens very specifically with this freestyle tour. It's probably the first time, at least since I was very young. Of course, when I was very young, I heard about these things, but I didn't really see any of it going on. But it's the first time, at least, since I became quite strong at chess, where you have an individual in Jan Butner who's trying to do something that's much more in the vein of a business project versus something that's simply I'm going to say it is chess socialism, for lack of a better way of putting it. So I'm quite curious to see how that goes, just because it's a very fresh take. You have someone doing things not purely from like the chess perspective. So really looking forward to that. I think that will be pretty telling in terms of future, whether things go up or whether it's a bit of an ebb and flow and history kind of repeats itself. But that I think is the thing that I'm looking forward to the most going forward, is whether that becomes a a major thing or not. But I think as far as online goes, there are always going to be casual fans who follow the game. You know, with every generation, there are always kids who take up the game, just like their parents or their grandparents before them. So the future for chess, I think, is quite bright. I think, you know, on some level, we've probably hit a peak during, you know, in this like the 2022 2023 period in a way. But I think that ultimately you have to look at it with the context of you know, we're in a much better place now for chess than we ever have been, and there still is a lot of potential for growth. So I'm looking forward to the future, and I think you know, I think 2025 is going to be a very exciting year for chess.
Oh, I agree. And you mentioned the freestyle chess. That's super cool. 5 tournaments to decide the world champion in Fischer Random or freestyle chess. Magnus will be a part of it. Hikaru, as a reigning champ, will also, of course, be a part of that. Take also aims to be a part of it. We hope to create a really cool fantasy chess game for that. We're also building out Guess the Moves, which I bet will be a cool thing to do when you're streaming, Hikaru, to sort of play Guess the Move with your fans.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to be doing that during the Champions Chess Tour.
Yeah.
So I'm looking quite forward to that. It's also something that, from a content perspective, it reminds me a lot of a period in 2020 when there were a lot of those. There were a lot of there were a lot of whimsical games, I seem to recall, like Guess the Move or Guess the Opening or Guess the ELO. A lot of these different things. So you know, there's a saying in content creation which is it's called yoink and twist. It's a phrase from the famous content creator Ludwig, which is, you know, you kind of have something that's been around and you twist a little bit, you make it very exciting. And you know, when it comes to something like Guess the Move, it's that really is a very old concept. I remember when I was a kid, there was this chess magazine called Chess Life in the United States, and they had this column where they have a game, and of course the moves are shown, but basically you're supposed to like cover the moves and try to guess what the moves are in that magazine. And so I would say that it's great to see something like that. I'll definitely try that during the Champions Chess Tour, which is, I think, coming up in about a week or a week and a half. Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time, and all these different things that are out there, all this innovation is great for the game of chess.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Very exciting times. Hikaru, finally, Gukesh is still thinking now on move 26. He spent a little over 8 minutes, but he has much more time than Ding to reach move 41. You still think Gukesh will win this game, that we will be tied after game 3 in the match?
I'm a little confused as to why he's thinking so long here, because to me, Rook C3 looks like the only move. I'm not actually understanding what he's thinking about. Because to me, every other move just doesn't make sense. Maybe he can play Knight D4 first, but to me, every other move except Rook C3 just doesn't make sense here. So I'm a little bit confused as to why he's thinking so long in this position. I mean, I still think it's more likely than not that he wins. But if he doesn't play Rook C3, I'm skeptical. So I would say right now, I mean, if I were betting on this, not that I am, although I think people have been looking at Polymarket quite a bit.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably it's probably 80-20 right now. But effectively, the next 3 or 4 moves are very important. If Gukesh can consolidate his position, maneuver the bishops and knight, get them on much better squares, he will win this game. So the next 3 to 4 moves are going to be very, very critical here. And if he finds the best moves, I firmly believe he'll win. I mean, I think in general, I feel pretty good about this position for him. I think he's much more likely to win than not, but there's still some work to be done. And at the end of the day, also, it is a world championship match. And, you know, one thing that I think is kind of, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing in chess, is that the candidates and or world championship are the only 2 events where it basically is a winner take all. And so when you have the stakes that are so much higher, handling your nerves throughout the course of those events is very, very different than just playing, say, you know, Grand Chess Tour event, for example, you know, whether it's Rapid or Classical, where you can play the games, you still try to find the best moves, but the stakes aren't as high. So I always find it interesting to see who has the best nerves, and nerves do play a huge role, because I would frankly argue that Jan Nepomniachtchi, for example, if you look at the World Championship matches that he played, maybe not against Magnus, but definitely against Ding, if he had better nerves, he would have won that. He was objectively, in my opinion, the better match, but at the critical moments, Ding Liren kept his nerves about him much better than Nepo was able to. So it's fascinating to see if if Gukesh controls his nerves, he'll win the game. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. We love your insight, Hikaru. Thank you so much. Final question. It's super early morning for you. Game start like 4 a.m. for you in Florida. Have you stacked up on coffee for the World Championship match?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely try to find some energy. I think what I would say is that the biggest reason that I do it, getting up at 4 a.m., is simply because there are a lot of fans out there who want to see it. I think at this point, I've obviously had a lot of success. I've streamed for quite a few years now. But for me, just having the ability to bring chess to the fans, give them something that they really enjoy. That really provides me more motivation or energy than anything else, I would say. So. Yeah, for me, it's not it's not really. It's more about what gives me that motivation or energy versus like specifically like caffeine.
Yeah, or even Red Bull. I remember the first time I met you, Hikaru. I was a sports journalist covering my first ever tournament in the Sinkfield Cup 2014. And I remember I was so impressed when you came sponsored by Red Bull. I felt like you were such a star in the chess world. And I later, of course, understood you were. But yeah, 2014. I mean, already then you were working with some big partners.
Yeah, I think that for me, I've always looked at chess as something where it feels like there's a lot of potential. It's more a question of how do you bring in sponsor, generate the attention. I think like this is not really intended to be like negative in any way, but I think one of the big things that, for example, FIDE has really failed at is that when you think about a game like chess, time is obviously, we use clocks. Time is probably the most important part of the game. And, not getting sponsors, specifically like watchmakers or creating like new clocks or things to bring those type of people into the game, I think is one of the things that disappoints me the most overall. Because it just feels like that's a very natural tie in, something you could easily get sponsors for, or you should be able to, at least I would say. But still, even despite that, I think, when you look at the Champions Chess Tour, or back when it was the Magnus Tour in 2020, there are sponsors out there. There is a lot of big interest in chess, and hopefully more of those sponsors see what a great game it is, and they want to be involved in some way.
We have a couple moves on the board. Do you have time to give us your final take on that, Hikaru, before you go back to your stream?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this.
Ooh,
I don't.
Who?
Why did he do this? Why did he play knight d4? I'm confused. I mean, maybe knight d4 is fine, but I'm looking at this and I don't like this at all.
My impression is
I don't like this at all.
My impression, Hikaru, is that knight d4, one of the points is that it's easier now to get in a position to challenge the best placed black piece, which is the knight on e5. That he hopes that somehow he can move his king and knight over to challenge this well-placed piece.
I actually had a different take. So the reason that I liked rook c3 more, just to give you an example, the reason I liked rook c3 more was actually to dominate the knight, not to play knight d4. I thought rook c3 with like king c2 and bishop d4 to dominate the knight, keep it pinned on the diagonal, was actually, to me at least, seemed maybe a little bit more. To me, I thought that might be a little bit more natural. I don't know. I guess knight d4 king. The idea is to go what, king e2? Is that the idea?
So knight d4,
bishop e2, rook h2 is, yeah. Because if you go bishop e2, rook h2, and it's all gone. So you have to go king e2, I guess. Yeah, I mean maybe, yeah, maybe it's still good. It's interesting. I thought that putting the rook on c3 was more logical, but yeah, maybe this is best. Who knows?
Well, the bar is still definitely in favor of Gukesh. Hikaru, thank you so much for joining our stream here in the Take studio, and we are so excited to be teaming up with the great Hikaru Nakamura.
Good talking to you guys, and yeah,
likewise.
I'll be talking to you guys soon. All right,
yeah,
you guys,
exactly. We'll see each other again very soon. Thanks, Hikaru, and enjoy the rest of the game.
There we go. All right, we are back. Let me put the music on.
Bye.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, that felt huge, you guys. Hikaru Nakamura is a team member for all of us for Take, and that is great news for us. I think it's great news for chess as well. And I know it's very intense on the board right now. Jon Ludvig.
Oops, let me close that. There we go. All right. Okay, we should be good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, apparently this is correct. I guess Gukesh has played this perfectly. I'm impressed, actually. Music's too loud still? Or is my microphone messed up? Wait, my microphone's messed up. Why does my microphone keep going down? I put it at 96 and then it goes down the moment I close sound settings. What the heck? The moment I close sound settings, it goes down. No, it's fine. Anytime I close sound settings, it goes down to like 45. It refuses to stay stuck at 96. Let me try again. Let me close it and see if the mic resets. Did the mic reset again or not? Let's see. Did the mic stay at 96 or did it change? No, it stayed at 96 for now. No, literally the microphone just goes down. Yeah. Everything is too loud. Audio is good now. Okay. No, basically, yeah, it's all good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll turn the music down a little bit. Okay, there we go. I turned it down a little bit. Yeah, I turned it down a little bit. Turn it down a little bit. I don't know. All my sounds got messed up. So, let me refresh. Yeah, yeah. That's good. Okay, Rook H2 on the board. Apparently a mistake of knight F3. Actually, knight F3 is not a hard move to play here. This is a pretty easy move. I'm actually impressed because I thought Rook C3 to me felt more logical to play Bishop D4 and try to dominate the knight. But apparently knight D4 is just the best move. Wow. Yeah, so Gukesh is probably going to win. It's all top moves. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so yeah, knight F3 here. Yeah, knight F3 is, I guess, apparently just good. Voice is cracking? No. I mean, I guess the main issue also is in the long run, you have a fixed structure, so Bishop C4 is a huge problem. Thoughts on the quality of the games? This game, I would say, I mean, this game has had some ups and downs, but overall, I mean, Gukesh has played a pretty good game. I mean, basically what happened is knight E2 was an all-star move. Knight E2 was an all-star move. All-star move. Although apparently bishop takes E4 and it was still kind of a game. Interesting. Oh, you keep... actually, this wasn't so bad, maybe. This was bad, but not crazy. Not so crazy because black keeps the 2Bs also. Okay, we got bishop G2. Yeah, Ding is gonna lose this game. I would say it. Ding is gonna lose this game. Ding did not castle, did he? No, he played rook D8. He did not castle. Yeah, this is very likely gonna be a decisive game. This is very likely to be decisive. Voice is cracking to a high volume? I don't think so. No, I think the voice is fine. Voice is distorted? Wait, what? Are you guys trolling me or not? Wait, am I getting trolled? Let me check my mods. No, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, voice is fine. Okay. Yeah. Voice is totally fine. Okay. Yeah. It cracks in high pitch, but it's fine. Maybe it's the gain. Let me check the... Maybe I can play around with the gain a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, whatever. Let's focus on the game. Okay, waiting for a move here from Ding. Computer wants A5. Not really. The A6 is more human to me, but this is good for the match though, being tied. Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's the match being tied is a good thing. I mean, it's very hard to judge, like I said. Like, I don't know if it's So one second, I'm gonna play around my sounds just a second, you guys. I don't want everything to collapse. Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is better. I'll maybe it's better, maybe it's not. You guys can tell me. All right. Ding at least has a win with black. Yes, he plays a6 here. Let me see if that messed up the sound too much, but we'll see. He's got 1 minute for each move. Okay. Yeah, he's got 1 minute for each move. That's true. Okay, there we go. Oh, is this good or not? I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know. Rook h1 would be a bad move. Black takes a bishop. Now, bishop e3, the best move here. Not an easy move to play, by the way. Bishop e3 allowing knight g4, not easy. This actually, wait, why is this winning? Oh, this is winning? Wow, you're supposed to... Ooh, bishop e3 is a hard move to play here. I do not expect bishop e3 to be played. Yeah, bishop e3 is a bit much. It won't be played. Bishop e3 is plus 1 point. Well, I mean, it's a weak engine, obviously. Bishop e3 won't be played here. Bishop e3 will not be played. Not human at all, because you basically what you do here is you give up the bishop pair, and this is where black starts to get chances to survive. Yeah, this is way too much. Way too much. I will play Arena Kings today later. Yes, I will play Arena Kings later. Yeah. Knight f3 is best, apparently. Rook d3. Ah, king f4. Wow, like this? This doesn't look intuitive, because there's also bishop e5 here. Wait, but you have some trick? Wait, what? Oh, rook h. I mean, this is not super obvious. I don't know. It's not super obvious to me. I'm going to go to bed after this. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed and come back for Arena Kings later. But this game, I think, has a long way to go. I don't think this game is going to be ending anytime soon. This game's not ending anytime soon. No, this won't be ending anytime soon. No press conference? Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Ding has 11 minutes, which is not a lot of time. But on the other hand, it's a very simplified position, so he should be able to get to time control pretty easily. A lot of this game is going to depend on how good Gukesh is at holding his nerves here. There are chances for a draw. Like if Gukesh makes one bad move, a draw becomes very likely. And it's not tough. It's not that bad because his moves should be pretty easy. Like knight d3, you just trade and you go rook d3. This you play immediately. Like you don't have to think. So you're going to get quite a few moves. I think Gukesh should win because of the time situation. I think if they were playing a game with 10 minutes each, this would be a draw. But because of the time he has, yeah. Chess Base India with 84k. Wow, amazing stuff for chess. Actually, the FIDE World Cup, chess.com, when they were covering Prague, I think chess.com had 100k when Prague played Magnus. But it's still very good nonetheless. That's actually, you know, one thing that's funny though about the different platforms. Like every platform has something that's amazing and something that's not. So like YouTube, for example, on long form content is amazing, but on actual live streams, like that doesn't monetize the way you think it would. Whereas on Twitch, it would monetize much better. So it's all weird. It's all weird actually. At high depth, everyone was +2. Bishop f3 or bishop e3 won't be played. Yeah, it's actually kind of weird. It's kind of weird how things monetize. My Polymarket account glitched, so I doubled my money. WTF? Really? I haven't looked lately. Okay. Ooh, 30%. Ooh, it's cliffing. It's cliffing, boys. It's cliffing. It's cliffing. It's cliffing. I don't feel I don't know. Like I still think he's gonna win this because of time, but like I don't love it. I don't love how I feel like they're a little bit too optimistic at the moment. My Polymarket account glitched, so I doubled my money. I bought Gukesh, but the money didn't withdraw. Chances Ding wins this game are 0. They're definitely 0. Yeah. I don't really know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of this. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this, honestly, because it's like, on the one hand, Ding will be unhappy, but also an even match after 3 games. If you told Ding that he'd be even after 3, he would be very happy with that. How am I so energetic? Because of you guys, the fans. I find the energy, I said this when I was on Take in spite of all the very weird comments, people being stupid. But I was gonna say that what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something that, yeah, like it's not even about caffeine. It's about actually like just like the motivation. Finding the motivation is much more important than anything else. India viewers going up only when Gukesh is winning. Pathetic. Okay, they're very patriotic. What do you want? I mean, what do you want? Yeah, like what do you want? I mean, come on. I mean, what do you want? They're patriotic and they're rooting for their Indian countrymen. Like Chinese viewers don't go when Ding is winning. Well, that's part of the reason that I said before the match started that, like, I don't have a problem with Ding winning. I mean, he's a very nice guy, but for chess, it's much better if Gukesh wins, just because Ding won the world championship and there was literally no interest at all. Like, it was very tragic to see. I mean, he wins the world championship and nobody cared. Hikaru is the most articulate among top gems, and some YouTube chatters don't get that, which is kind of stupid. Yeah, the number of people I heard writing, I mean, I saw a few of the comments are just saying like, oh, well, tell me when he's not on the stream so I can unmute it. It's like, what's wrong with you guys? Seriously. Like, you have so much hate in your hearts. Like, Jesus, find something to do with your time that's productive. It's still, I mean, it's not over. It's not over. I mean, I know the computer says it's winning, but it's not over yet. It's not over. Oh, it's magic. You know. Am I into philosophy? I have been, but not that closely. No, not that closely. But I have followed philosophy over the years. Yes. So what do we get? We got B3, which is a good move too. No, B3 is fine. It's not a blunder. It's fine. I mean, the problem here though is Ding still, it's very hard. He has to play, I don't know what he's supposed to play, like rook h8, rook d7. I mean, these are the only like 3 moves that I see. Put the rook on d7 or play rook h5 or rook h8. I'd probably play rook d7. It's actually the best move, but I play it anyway just because it guards the pawn here. What I don't like about b3 though actually is it takes away a square. Like, you want, maybe you want to rotate the knight to a5 or c5 at some point, whereas now the pawn is never able to, the knight's never able to go here because the pawn's in the way. So it's completely fine, but it's not, I don't know if I love that move actually. So let's see what we get. You know, how telling is rook h5 a Ding's form? I actually was really shocked by rook h5. I was really shocked by this move. Like, it didn't seem like it didn't, I mean, I was really shocked by this move. Bishop e7 or bishop f5 immediately both seemed much more realistic to me. Yeah, it looks like you don't want Gukesh to win. No, it's not about not wanting to win. It's about looking at this from the objective perspective and not looking at it from stupid computer perspective. That's what it has to do with. It has to do with the fact that you have to look at it from the human perspective. Everybody just looks at the stupid engine over and over and over again, and they're like, oh, it's winning, it's over, and they don't look at like how difficult the moves are. It's like, okay, it's +2 according to the computer, it's winning. And that annoys me a lot when I hear that, because that really takes away from the essence of what chess is. It really takes away from the essence of what chess is a game. So you're just like, okay, computer says +2, game's over. I mean, have we really reached this level in society where it's like we've forgotten how to use our brains? Like, seriously, have we reached that point in society where we refuse to use our brains anymore? Yeah, be serious. Okay, we get rook d7. Okay, very logical move from Ding. No, Ding is still okay. His time is not great, but it's not the end of the world. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. I would say I'm heavily influencing Polymarket. That's hilarious if I actually am. I'm not joining Magnus and Levy for the recap, no. What did I eat for breakfast? I had some ramen as usual. Yeah. Okay, it's probably the last big moment of the game. Actually, you know why b3 is a good move, I realized. Because if you play the computer line rook c1 here, I think after knight g4 at some point the pawn might be hanging. So even though you take away knight b3, you put the pawn on the opposite color, so now the pawn can never be attacked by the bishop. Why am I so interested in Polymarket? I'm not, but a lot of people keep talking about it. I've had ramen 3 days in a row. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big moment here. Bishop e3 is the best move. I don't like bishop e3. Rook c1 I kind of like. It makes a lot of sense to play rook h1. Then rook but then rook h5. Wow, and you can just like, oh, because rook g5 there's bishop h3. Do I feel a kinship with Ding at all because it's close to your age? Not really. I think what I would say, you're influencing Polymarket a lot. Yes, can you glaze Gukesh's position for a minute, see Polymarket spike so I can sell my shares for profit? Good one, thank you. I still think Gukesh is gonna win, but I don't think this is like it's not a done deal yet. It's not a done deal. It's not a done deal. It's not a done deal by any stretch, even though you guys look with the engine, you're like, okay, it's just winning. It's just over. It's just winning. Game over. I mean, he should win, but let's relax, okay? Let's relax. Yeah, this is not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination. Let's relax. Let's see if Gukesh can find the best moves. The volume of the music should be fine. Should be completely fine. I think in a blitz game, I think black. It's funny in a blitz game, like if they're playing with like 3 minutes on the clock, I think there's a very good chance that black draws this game, if not wins. I agree with whoever said black wins. Like I don't think black necessarily wins, but I think winning this game with white here would be very difficult. Would be very, very difficult in a blitz game. But in a classical game with all the time in the world to think, you should win this. No, bishop g3 would be a huge blunder because I can sack the rook, I take the knight, and now black is probably better here. Black is better, in fact, yeah. Because Stockfish would draw this position. I mean, people don't realize just how good the computers are to humans. Like we are pathetic. Let's be real. We as humans are, let's be real, we are pathetic at chess. I mean, Magnus is the best chess player ever, and he I guess his peak was 2880. Like Magnus was trying to get to 2900. I mean, that's just so pathetic compared to Stockfish. 2900 compared to like 3700. Like Magnus doesn't understand anything about chess at all. Literally, like he's a complete beginner at chess compared to Stockfish. Complete beginner. Like people don't realize just like how big the difference is. Magnus is just garbage at chess. Complete clown. I mean, he's just terrible compared to Stockfish. Chess isn't really a game that should be played by humans. Yeah, I mean, obviously. I've said this many times, so the clip's not going to do anything. Yeah, I mean, people just really, they really don't understand just how insanely bad we are compared to computers, or how good computers are. Big moment here, by the way. I mean, it's a tough spot here for Gukesh. I love how rook c1 is good now, because when you play rook d1, now that the rook's on d7, you have bishop h3 to hit the rook. Whereas if the rook weren't on d7, you wouldn't have this little tactic. But it's tricky here because bishop e3 allows knight g4, and I don't think we're going to get this, just because I'm sure that Gukesh is looking at this where he wants to keep the 2b's on the board. And knight f3 is now a big mistake, I think, because now there's rook d3, and suddenly all bets are off because you lose the juicer. So this is not a done deal yet. I still think Gukesh should win, but let's see. Bishop e3 is good, but the problem is, like I said, what I just said, you guys, what I said is that you have to remember that in this position, if when you're thinking about this as a human, what gives white the big advantage? You have an extra piece, obviously, but the bishop pair is what makes this so good for white. So going bishop e3 and allowing this to happen where you lose your bishop pair is, I think, very hard to do. It's very hard to go for this transition after you basically after you know your advantage is having the two bishops. To suddenly give up a bishop willingly is very hard to do. Gukesh will blunder the next 3 moves. I don't think so, but we'll see. If Gukesh were lower on time, I think this would be a draw. If the players were playing this game with 5 minutes on the clock, I think Ding would draw this. With the current time situation, I don't think so. If this match goes to tie breaks, I think Ding is probably the favorite. Probably a small favorite, I would say, just because of the experience. I still don't think it would be more than 55-45 though. Ding cannot win this position. No, he can't win. Yeah, Ding's time usage, I mean, in game 1 it was bad and he got away with it, but I think his time usage in this game he's actually getting punished. Like, he got a little bit lucky with the time usage in the first game, but in this game he's getting punished for his mismanagement of his clock. So he's getting punished in this game. So 25 minutes and ticking, no increment. Yeah, actually, I do think, since the critical moments happened while I was on with them, I think that actually what Ding missed is, I think he missed knight e2. I think Ding saw takes rook c2, something like this, and he thought I can never be worse here. I think he missed knight to e2. I think that's what he missed. What's wrong with rook c5? Is rook c5 a bad move? c5, rook h. Also, rook c5 won't be played because there's probably potentially something like b6 and c5, and now suddenly I guess this is still winning, but it feels kind of iffy to allow this. But very, very tense game though. Very tense game. This game I think is going to be going for a long time, you guys. This game I don't think will be a quick game. I missed Title Tuesday. I mean, I got too tired and I crashed out at the end. This game I think is going to go well into the second time control. That's my prediction. Ding has to know he's worse, but I'm betting for both players they don't realize how much worse it is. Like, they probably think it's like +1 or something versus being like +3 according to the supercomputers. Yeah, I mean, they probably think it's like +1 or a little bit more than that. They probably don't realize that it's just completely winning. That's my prediction for this. I think that they know white is better, but they don't know like that it's just winning. Do you see white ahead? Like I said, the reason I'm annoyed by people saying that it's like game over or whatever is because they see the engine bar, they see the bar, they see the valuation of like +2, +3, game over. I mean, white is better, but this is not. I mean, this is not simple because playing a move like bishop e3, not easy. Rook h5 is a pretty straightforward idea, and you have to worry about all the knight jumps. Like, it's just not that. It's not as easy. But see, the problem is in this modern age, nobody has a freaking brain anymore. Everybody today uses a computer, and they don't use their brains. Like, we have brains for a reason, you guys. And nobody uses their brain anymore. They see evaluation bar. Oh yeah, white's +2, game over. Let's just bet the house on Gukesh to win this game on Polymorph. Pound away, pound, pound, pound. Let's bet over and oh shoot, I spilled some coffee. Sorry. Sorry. That was great. Anyway, yes. Clipped. Yeah. Anyway, you guys get the point that I'm saying. You get the point of what I'm saying. Boomer rants are great, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, but you're like, yeah, it's like, okay, it's +2, game over, he's gonna win. Let's bet the house. Yeah. Like, I mean, I still think Gukesh is going to win, but this is not, like, it's not over yet. It's not over. There's a long way to go. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the reason we have brains is to hide from lions in the plains of Africa. Okay, sure. Maybe like 10,000 years ago that was the case. Not anymore. Yeah, so when I look at this position, basically here's the thing. As I said, for white, the first thing, why is white much better? It's because you have the two Bs. So playing bishop e3 and going for this, even though this is still good for white, is not very logical because you've lost the bishop pair. That was your big advantage, so you don't want to give up the bishop pair. So in your mind, you're not going to play bishop e3 because of that. So you're not going to give up the bishop pair. But if you're not going to play that transformation, then you're really hard pressed to find moves. Because rook c1, rook h5, I mean, if you go bishop e3, again, there's going to be a knight g4. So for Gukesh, he's probably thinking, well, how do I keep this game going where I don't lose the two Bs? The two Bs are what he thinks are the big advantage. And he might have to do it. Okay, he goes rook c1. I assume we'll get rook h5 here, right? Rook h5 should be played immediately by Ding. I would play rook h5. I mean, rook h5 should be played right away here. Like, he should play rook h5 immediately. What's he thinking about? You got to go rook h5. You got to go rook h5. What is he thinking about? Rook h5 is the only move. Wait, why is he thinking here? Oh, computer wants bishop f8. That's just a weird move. Isn't that oh, because bishop g, I mean, you're walking to all kinds of tricks. I would go rook h5 immediately. I would just play it in 5 seconds. I mean, the reason I'm able to predict rook c1 is because I understand because I'm a good player, and I understand from the human perspective how Gukesh is going to try to keep the two Bs. He's going to try to avoid trading the bishops. Rook h5 I would just play in 5 seconds just to attack the juicer. Bishop f8 is not human because you're walking into bishop g3. There's rook d1. It feels super loosey-goosey. Why is he not playing rook h5? This is again terrible time usage from Ding. I mean, rook h5 has to be played. What is he doing? You're getting too low. Rook h5. This is very bad. Rook h5. He should have played rook h5 in 5 seconds. What is he doing? Rook h5. I don't understand king e7 at all. I mean, I guess it's fine, but I don't understand it at all. I don't know. Computer thinks it's fine, by the way. Computer thinks it's fine, which, I mean, is amazing, actually. It's a very sneaky move. Oh, no, it's not, because bishop e3. And now you don't get knight g4 because of knight f3. No, it's a terrible move. Now bishop e3 and white should win the game. Yeah, bishop e3 now and white should... Oh, no, but you can still go back. And then knight... Still tricky, maybe, huh? I think we're gonna get a blunder here, by the way. I think we're gonna get a blunder from Ding pretty soon. I think he's gonna make a blunder. That's my prediction. I mean, bishop e3 apparently best, but I mean, this is all so dank. Like all of this. Like, first of all, to go b3, you're thinking, well, this is just a weird move, but it actually, because you take away the square from the knight, but you actually get the pawn off the off the color of the bishop. And then rook c1, like, it's like you're thinking rook 8, which one's the idea, but now the idea is to go bishop e3, so on knight e3 there's no rook on c2. Like, both of these moves are really dank. This here, you need to learn from Ding not to blitz out moves. There's no increment, and he's got 6 minutes, and he has to make 10 plus moves. I mean, at some point you have to cut yourself off here. You have to. You just got to cut yourself off. Also, I mean, why is it... Can't you just go, Knight g4 is not a threat anymore, is it? It's still tough, though. It's still tricky. I mean, it's still a 13-minute time advantage. Actually, you know, if I were Gukesh here, what I would probably be thinking about is how to get to move 40. If he can keep this position as it currently is and get to time control, he should win this. He should have the technique. But I don't think I mean, because I'll tell you what's going on here. Because Gukesh is a human like me or other top players, he doesn't know that he's winning here. He probably thinks he's quite a bit better, but he doesn't know if he's winning. Like, if he knew he was winning, he'd feel much more confident, but he doesn't know that he's winning. And that's what people miss here. So they think, okay, it's just like computer says +2, game over. What's going on? It's not. It's still going. Bum 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 bum. Can we get rook d1? Logical move. Oh, but now you can play knight g4. Wait, now you can go knight g4 actually, can't you? There's knight f2. Not rook d1, sorry. Oh, no, you have bishop c. Oh. Oh, you can't do it. Now you have to go king e8, which I think, frankly, is an impossible move. I don't think there's any chance he plays king e8. I think there's no shot he plays king e8 here. Well, if he finds king e8, I mean, it's still very much a game. Can he find king e8? The fish wants c5. Why? Knight f3? There's no, white just went. No, white c5 is bad. You have to go king e8. Only move here. King e8 only move. Only move. King e8 only move. King e8 only move. King e8's the only move here that doesn't lose immediately. I don't think he's going to play it. It's a very computerish move to just ignore with king e8. No, he's not going to find it. He's going to play knight g4 or something. Actually, wait, is this so bad? Wait, knight g4 here, rook d1, bishop c5, rook d6. This is winning, really? Wait, check. Oh, because you have bishop h3. You have bishop h3 after king c7. You have bishop h3 and rook d7 with the kebab. Brutal. Knight g4 is very logical to try and trade pieces here. I think king e8's the only move. But he's too low on time. I mean, Ding's time usage is just not there. I mean, he got away with it in game 1, but today he's getting punished because of it. Yeah, he's going to get punished because of it today. King e8's the only move. Only move here to not lose. I don't think he'll play king e8. Very unlikely in my opinion. Very unlikely. Very unlikely. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yeah, Ding's using too much time. There's no way he plays king e8. No way. There's no way. King e8's the only move. No way he plays it. Just no way. No way. No way, Jose. No way. And Ding is just like unable to move. He's paralyzed. King e8 is the only move you can play here. Only move to not lose. He's not going to play it. He's done. He's done in my opinion. He's done here. He's done. He's done. He's not going to be able to play king e8. Just not possible. No one was saying clock when Gukesh made like 10 moves in 10 minutes. No, but I mean the thing is he has to make 9 moves in a tough position. He doesn't have easy moves. That's actually the main thing is when you get low on time, you need easy moves where you can't think. Yeah. Why am I negative? I mean, I'm negative because actually like the time 235, what are you doing? What is he doing here? This by the way, more than anything else, just like drives me nuts. TikTok. What is he doing? Like, I'll tell you one thing, like, to me, like, I would rather lose on the board than feel the stress of being this low. What's he doing? He's got to go. 2 minutes. I'm going to refresh the board. What is he doing? I mean, he's just going to lose on, he's going to lose on time, if nothing else. He has to move. What did he play? He plays King E8, the best move. Wow. Very dangerous. If Gukesh can find a little wrinkle and make him have to think for 30 seconds on the next move, he's just going to get flagged. I'm a believer. He found it, but still, I mean, he's going to have to basically make every move instantly now. Every move instantly. I mean, it's still, I mean, King 8 is still an amazing move to play, but am I a fan of the time control? I actually like the time control because I think that I mean, if you spend too much time early in the game, you should be punished for it. So that's what I would say. Like, I like the time control because I think that, you know, if you use too much time, like if he hit 30-second increment, he's not even in time pressure here, honestly. Well, did we get a move? No, we didn't get a move. No, honestly, I like the time control. Because seriously, if Ding had 30, or if Ding was getting 30 seconds per move and he is a minute 50, he's not even in time pressure here. It's not even time pressure with a 30-second increment. So I actually do like it. All the impossible moves Hikaru says Ding makes it. I mean, with a lot of time, I like it. You could play King 8, but without a lot of time, I'm pretty impressed that he found it. It really feels like with Ding, he's just hanging on by a thread every moment. That's what it feels like to me, but maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, I mean, he has time. It's not the end of the world, but the thing here, if I were Gukesh, I'd be trying to find a wrinkle to make Ding think. So if you go Bishop G3, Rook H5 will be played instantly. So but I mean, even here, what is this? This is 32, 33, 34. Still 6 moves here. It's a lot of moves to have to make. It's too many moves to have to make here, I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not, but yeah. No, I mean, but this is the thing that I was saying is, like, at some point you have to be like, okay, if I blunder and lose the game, I lose the game, because if you get too low on time, you're going to lose the game no matter what. The only good thing here for Gukesh or for Ding is that he should be able to find Rook H5. He should be able to play a couple of quick moves. It's still, I mean, for Gukesh, it's a blitz game, though, to be fair. It's not... It's still tricky. It's still tricky. King E8 was a very good move. Very good move. Gukesh has 15 minutes. If Gukesh had 5 minutes, I would be singing a different tune. But Gukesh has 15 minutes, which should be more than enough time. Should be much more than enough time. But very, very murky. Benny and the Jets. What Gukesh has to do is he has to find a way to make it so that Ding doesn't have an instant move. I mean, both players look a little bit stressed, actually. Even Gukesh looks a little bit stressed here, too, actually, now that I look at it. Benny. If Ding gets a draw, he wins a championship. I think it's still too early to say that. Way too early to say that. Way too early to say that. Yeah, if I were playing Hero with white, you know what I would play? I would probably play... I mean, it's easy knowing what the computer says to play like rook c1 or rook d1. I don't think rook d1 will be played. That's just a little bit too weird in my opinion. I mean, bishop g3 is what's going to be played, I assume. But I look for something really wrinkly like rook c1 here to really just keep it so that Ding has to think and he can't just move instantly. But if you're Gukesh, you don't want Gukesh to get too low on time either. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bishop g3, rook h5, knight f3 is a very logical approach too. But rook d1, yeah, this is pretty reasonable. I like this idea. Actually, I think this is what he should play. I think he should play this. Bishop g3 and knight f3, because that only gets you to what? Go knight f3, takes, knight d7. That's only 34. What do we get? Bishop g3, rook h5, played immediately. Okay. Gukesh's moves are not easy either, but I mean, I think... Yeah, 1 second for that move. Very important that he didn't waste time. They're on 32. It's 8 more moves. If Ding holds a time control, I don't think it's good for Gukesh. I would agree, actually. I don't think it's good either. Knight f3 should be played, because bishop f4 gives Ding another instant move with rook h4. Whoa. Whoa. Bishop f4 is good, but the reason I don't like it is because Ding will play rook h4 in 1 second, and that also means he gets another instant move. He doesn't have to think. I think knight f3 is pretty nasty. I like knight f3 here, even if it's not the best computer move. I like it. I'll refresh the board again. Gukesh is shaking a lot. Of course he is. He's very nervous. It's a chance to win a game in the World Championship. Of course he's shaking. I like knight f3 here. I like knight f3. Remember, it doesn't lose the pawn because after knight f3 takes, there's bishop h4 with rook to d8, which wins the game. There's just a checkmate. So you move the rook and then there's a checkmate with the rook and the bishop. So it doesn't actually lose a pawn. I mean, Gukesh's time is also getting a little bit low here as well, but I like knight f3 because it makes the position very static here. Static. Your knight guards, and now you look to reroute the pieces eventually. That being said, if Ding can play these moves quickly, he'll definitely get to time control. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Would I win this against Ding with the same time situation? I mean, I think I would, but again, easier said than done. This is a world championship game. Lot more pressure, different level. Chances for a draw, low right now. If they get to time control, I think the chance for a draw go up by a lot. Yeah. Okay, we'll get rook d1, of course. Oh, he blunders. He took. Big blunder. Big blunder. Big blunder. Big blunder. And now it's over. Now it's over. Now it's over, right? There's no way you take here, right? Actually, why is this winning? Big moment. Now it's, I think this is GG. Too low on time. Rook g5 and pray. Rook g5 and pray that you're not losing. Rook g5 and pray. Rook g5 and pray. Knight f3 is a big blunder. He had to trade. He goes bishop d4. Yeah, Gukesh is going to win now. I don't know why he didn't trade the rooks. Trading rooks was much more natural, but on the other hand, I mean, playing knight d7, this is all very hard with no time on the clock. Actually, if he had played this, he would have had decent chances to maybe save. Maybe not. Computer still hates it, but this could have been interesting. Having to play bishop f1 to win, not an obvious move either. But yeah, he's gonna win now. He's gonna win. Actually, rook h1, rook g. He moved, right? He played it. Yeah. Yeah, rook g5 is losing too. Yeah, Gukesh is about to win. Yeah, he's gonna win this game. Yeah, he's gonna win the game now. I mean, 48 seconds for 5 moves. Like, yeah, it's over. He's gonna win now. This is over. Okay, this is over. Let me get ready to do a recap. Actually, let me use the I shouldn't use the restroom. Okay. He's not gonna make it to time control. Yeah, I mean, he's got 20 seconds for 5 moves. What is he doing? I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, he's got, I mean, he's gonna flag. Okay, he's just gonna flag. Yeah, he's just gonna flag. Yeah, it's over. All right, it's over. Okay, let's wait for it to end. All right, make sure I'm ready. Let's look right. That looks right. That looks right. Okay, here we go. Okay, Gukesh wins. Okay.